futures little change this morning, coming off a positive showing for the most part so far this week. The EV craze continues, but gains in the pre-market here coming back to the downside pretty hard for both Lucid and Rivian. We're going to talk about both coming up here. Coming off a decent showing yesterday for U.S. equities. At the end of the day, we had the Dow up about 54 points or 0.15%. The S&P and NASDAQ also both in positive territory. If you remember, better than expected retail sales data. We got a whole bunch of retail sales or retailers earnings yesterday, more today from the likes of Lowe's. We'll talk about Target here coming up. TJX, Bath and Body Works as well, pretty active here in the pre-market. So we'll discuss some more. Retailers this morning, as I mentioned, both Lucid and Rivian giving back early gains, but very active, 13 plus million shares already. For Lucid, I noticed. It is Wednesday, November 17th, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. Yeah, there we go. Look at how things stand at this point for North American markets. Back in the red for the Dow and the S&P, the NASDAQ basically flat. So far, TSX futures here in Toronto flat as well. You can see a little bit of negativity. Bottom end of that board, once again, for Bitcoin and Ethereum. Big moves in the crypto markets yesterday to the downside, 5+% in fact. So kind of looking for a bit of a bounce, but nothing yet. Good morning, guys. It's an interesting day setting up here. We have a little more negativity coming back in surrounding these EV names. Neil, you were mentioning some people asking what the news is for Rivian this morning. It's Rivian.
Yeah, like this is the thing. Like if it doesn't need news to go up top to bottom, bottom to top, $27, including the aftermarket yesterday, because it was a run aftermarket, then it doesn't need any news to come down 10, 20 bucks. Still an impressive day. I just kind of feel like it's sort of obvious what's going on here. You know, everyone's selling off some of their gains in Rivian and Lucid. So they can buy shares of the Sonos, I can't even say it with straight face, the Sonos IPO, which is a tiny one, but they're the solar-powered EV name, German company, which is interesting. It'll come into market today. I'll be watching that. It's not a gigantic IPO, but SEV on the NASDAQ. Should be interesting. Of course, they come yesterday in the midst of the boom. Probably a little bit of a different story in terms of momentum, but certainly we've seen these things reverse in the past. Not just the EV space moving. Of course, you've got the retailers. Bit of a good report by Target, better one by Lowe's there, and then we'll still be watching Prague, which that actually is holding up, not really giving as much back near its highs after yesterday's fantastic run. So still a lot to watch here, Sean.
Yep.
You got the lumberjack, so ready to put in some work.
I'm ready to chop down some trees today, boy.
What's the big guy? Paul Bunyan. That's what.
Yes. People saying Dexter, all these kind of things. So, yeah, we're gonna have a assassin type attitude here today, one more time. And I actually have a sad story, but it's a good story because it has a happy ending. So we were supposed to get the Christmas tree on Monday, but the place closed at 5. So today they are open later till 7 or so, the nursery. So we go get our tree today. So we're in the lumberjack here. We should have a good time getting the tree, and it should be fun. My mic? No, my mic should be fine. Anyways, yeah, look, Target's it's come up to a nice key level here of 252. We're talking about that. Hopefully we can get along into Target for there. Apparently they're predicting a little better, forecasting better Christmas shopping season than they had first thought. So I don't know why it's down 4.5%. The reports seem fine for me. We can check out on Walmart as well. We've seen Walmart dip down off their report, so back down to 143 here. Again, I mean, my charts won't even change, but Walmart, there's the Walmart report yesterday. Boom, right to the downside there. Found a nice base at 142.50. So the whole move was basically in the report, and then we found a bottom. So looking for something very, very similar here with Target, the same kind of thing. Bottomed out here at 252. So if we can do that, we'll look there. And then just to check back here, Lucid, what is Lucid doing right now? I mean, we're going to go over all of these, man. 57 and change. That's my sticky note just went out 2 minutes ago, so you could find Lucid on there. We wrote down some key levels that we like there. And then, of course, Rivian today. So Lucid up 3%. And then Rivian, Neil led with that. We've already talked about it, down 8%. But Rivian. I mean, it was, like I said, a week ago today we IPO'd, right? We IPO'd at 106.50. So, for this thing to be at 160 is still a great bump for Rivian, and it also leads me towards Ford. Look, we have a lot of ideas, so we'll get to all these as we go, but should be another exciting day. Brendan, welcome back in the big seat over there.
Yeah, guys, just seeing this Novavax as well. There was a headline there on NVAX popped up. Not much volume, but did pop up as the Philippines approved they got emergency use authorization for their COVID-19 vaccine. So we'll watch NVAX here, another one that can give you all kinds of crazy moves. If it really wants to get going this morning, before we go any further, let's get over and say good morning to Miss V.
Good morning, team. Happy trading to you all. I wish you a wonderful, profitable day. Please enjoy the show, and please don't forget to like this video. Let's get it started, Brandon.
Yep, lots to talk about this morning before we get to the open. Under an hour to go. Here we go. This is what I was mentioning there. Novavax and the Serum Institute of India receiving EUA for their COVID-19 vaccine in the Philippines. So that's just coming across. Lots to discuss, though, on the EV side of things. There's that little canoe, very active, Go EV, very active here in the pre-market as well. But I want to mention we've kind of been avoiding some of these Chinese names over the past few weeks and months because of all things China. Obviously, one of the bigger ones, though, Baidu, out with earnings, guys, BIDU. I mean, it's not really doing anything, and I think the lack of pre-market action here, the lack of pre-market movement kind of emphasizes what I was just saying, and the fact that people are maybe just avoiding this. Billy as well, BILI, another one out with earnings. So some of the Chinese names starting to come through here.
Yeah, look, this is a market now built on momentum, at least for the most part. So in the pre-market, names that you'd usually expect to see have a little bit of movement because, while the Chinese tech was hot, that hasn't really been true for a while now, but when it was hot, you'd get an earnings report here and you'd be all over, like probably a year ago. We'd be trading, the Baidus and the Babas just a heck of a lot more, but it's the EV space. And like you said, volume, 4 million we're going to get to in Rivian, and it's not even, like 8:40 in the morning. That Go EV canoe is going absolutely bat-ish crazy. It's some muted moves here, but I'm just not really seeing anything exciting about Baidu here, and I need to see some increased volatility. You've already ground up going into this ground up. You've already moved like off a nice base here, like 10%, kind of very sleepily on Baidu going into this print. So maybe that's taken a little bit I guess, the thunder away from their report. I don't know, but either way, I'm probably going to be staying away from it. Certainly from a long-term perspective, most people are going to tell you that it probably makes sense that if you're in Chinese tech, that the safest place is in the EV space where there's a big, strong push of support there and a few names to choose from. So, I don't get too excited about this Baidu here, especially given the fact that it's probably put in this run. If it breaks that trend and comes back down, a lot of times selling these has been better on the way to the downside. But Baidu, it's going to be a pass for me trading today. Had there been volume, probably would have been all over it, but you got to chase volume when you're day trading.
We caught a downgrade here on PayPal. We recently just bought this name down here at 203, ripped up to 216 yesterday off of a nice move there. Congratulations. I know Lucas made a buy on PayPal. That was a nice one. But today it comes down here, and we are back down to 211 on a Bernstein downgrade. So you know what, Bernstein? You're wrong on this one. I mean, they downgraded it to 220, so I don't know where they were before, but they downgraded a higher price than it is right now. I'm not sure what they were saying, just market outperform right now. So I don't know. I mean, I like PayPal. Stripe is going to come out, so we're going to have that. Obviously, we've seen PaySafe been getting absolutely demolished. Down 2% here, I think, is a great opportunity to buy PayPal. I think if we're lucky enough to somehow get this to 208, especially if our NASDAQ continues to fall here, it's a nice move back upside, but the NASDAQ was falling pretty sharply here when we sat down. So we'll wait to see what the NASDAQ does, but I really, really, really like PayPal right off. I mean, this little bid right there is 208.15. So, I mean, whether you get it to 208, 209, something like that in here would be pretty sweet for PayPal. So I'm looking at this as an opportunity here on the downgrade by Bernstein. I think they're wrong on this, and again, I think it's people that missed the bid on PayPal. So they missed it, and now they're trying to bring it down a couple bucks so they can buy it back up. Apparently PayPal, not apparently, but they have deals with Facebook. all this Affirm talk is fantastic. PayPal has a lot of the same features and is already in a lot of businesses. Obviously, we hear about Venmo is going to be going over to Amazon. I really like the fact that PayPal is coming down here. I think it's an opportunity to even buy some more. I may do that. So let's see if we get to 208 first, but that's going to be a good one, and I'm excited.
Yeah. From market perform to to market perform from market outperform. And then 220 from 260 on the price target there. From Bernstein, let's talk about Biogen here quickly. This Alzheimer's drug continues to lead the headlines for Biogen. It's down here in the morning or in the pre-market. There was an EMA panel that came out with a negative look at this. So Biogen down 3.5% here. We're below this last little pivot, which was 260. This thing had tried to hold 260 a couple of times, but decent move here for BIIB.
Yeah, like Biogen, it kind of feels like it's still searching for that bottom, and at some point, I think the speculation is going to get it's going to get pretty exciting, I guess, if it gets down to this 220 level, because you really have to think about, at some point, if things get figured out and go back in their way, the potential upside there is, and this is not totally dissimilar from Moderna in terms of the type of investment that it's turned into right now, which is a bit of a shot play. Like if you want safety, then you should be buying like Eli Lilly or something like that. And if you want to be purely speccing and looking for just a bigger shot in the dark, which, hey man, Biogen could give you that. Like the stock in a couple of years could easily be a double up, if not even like a year and a half. It's just a very, very risky proposition. And it gets closer down to that 220 support. It'll definitely pique my interest for a trade down there at some point. 250 is on the horizon, as you can see here, even on the daily chart. That 250 looks pretty interesting for a bit of a break. $250 stock doing 50,000 pre-market for a breakout or a breakdown. Not going to be a huge fan of it, but Biogen, we're 10% away essentially from getting to some key levels on that daily chart. Although last time, very, very muted bounces when it got to this 260. It gave you 10%, and then it retraced to those lows. So that doesn't make it as exciting when it gets to that 220, because you're not looking to swing 10% in something like this. You're not looking to invest hoping to get 10 points on it. You're looking to see if it can be a double up. And I'd wait a little bit further on this name. I think there's probably some more downside.
We'll talk about that. I want to talk about Moderna quickly, and I'm going to do GGPI because I want to thank Rolando for throwing down the $10. Thank you so much for that. And then thank you so much again. Here, I'll show you on the screen quickly. We will get to GGPI. I'll even do it right now after this. And then thank you so much. And then another $10. Thank you so much from Singapore, Sasapch. There. I don't know if that's the right way to pronounce that, but thank you so much. Thank you to Miss V right there, Trader Pratt, everybody, Neil, everybody's in there. Thank you so much. I mean, I think that we are, a very unique team, and obviously I already think that we are the best. So whatever, it's like DJ Khaled style. I want to talk about Moderna here. They're going to get a approval from Canada for the booster shots. I mean, as soon as Pfizer gets approved as well, I assume the both of them will come through. Not booster shots, vaccine for 6 to 11. It came through not too long ago. It's obviously not affecting it. Canada's only 40 million people, but still, I think Moderna may have found a bottom here at this 220. This could have been a wipeout bottom at 210 or so. We made it back to 250, then started to come back down. So I think I want to buy this name if we can get it back down to 220 or even on a breakout of 250. So just because we talked about Biogen, I did want to talk about Moderna quickly. So GGPI, that's going to be Polestar, right? So
yeah.
As you're looking here, I don't know. I just think that a lot of these names, and again, thank you, Rolando, for the super chat. A lot of these names are catching the Rivian bump right now. I mean, you're seeing what Lucid's doing. Lucid, obviously the Air came out and got the car of the year. So, there's going to be a lot of forward movement on some of these stocks. And I think it's great. Forget about the 1 minute chart. Whatever happens today. We'll talk about that. But, look at this move. Straight from $10 just a couple weeks ago or even last week up to 16. So I would be ringing the register. Like, I keep saying that Rivian's going to come down. Imagine Rivian has all the hype and they're up 60%. So should this really be up 60%? You know, I think it's due for a pullback, and I wouldn't be surprised if we do crack this 14, whatever this level is here, 1475. This could be a level that doesn't hold. So if I'm long down here, 10, 11, 12, 13, something like that, no matter what, I'm taking a piece out on this 1470 break and probably offering some out. And if we get a bump here in the morning, probably 16, 17, or not 17, that'd be great, but $16, something like that, trying to get some out on a little bit of a bump. So, you know, you got to take profit. Like, how crazy is this? Like, when Ford was bumping up, and again, and thank you for the super chat, but this is going to be my opinion always. Like, I was taking out profits on Ford on the way up, right? I took some out 16, 17, 18, 20, all the way up here. AMD, I did the exact same thing. And I love AMD, and AMD's on the sticky note today for another breakout of 153. My best out is 150 on this name. I also have outs in here. I got some out at 119 when we were, I mean, we're long $50, $75, but when it started popping up and I thought it was getting a little meme-ish here, we got some out, right? Looked good when it faded back in, but now it's back up. And we just recently got some out here. I think it was 150.50, which was good when it dropped back down to 136. But now you're right back to the upside, and I'll probably take some more profit out on, probably not. But the idea is to take profit on the way up. You can't be wrong. Just like we sold some Disney into profit spots, we sold Coinbase into some profit spots as well. And what that does is allow you to have cash on hand so that if Rivian dips down to a level you like, if Lucid dips down, if Polestar dips down to a level you like, you have some spare cash to drop into those names. So that's what I like to do because, hey, look, if you're holding the bag on a name like PaySafe and things like that, that's what can happen. You know, some of the calls you make are going to go south. So you want to make sure that you take profit on ones that are profitable. So thank you to that, Rolando, for that super chat.
Just seeing some housing stocks going by. There was a housing number there, housing starts number at 8:30. That was a little lower than expected, guys. So heads up on some of the builders. Here we go. This is the whole group to the upside this morning. You were talking about GDPI there. Gore's Guggenheim, best name for a SPAC ever. There's Lucid taking out Ford and General Motors on the market cap yesterday, guys, for Lucid. I noticed Rivian as well took out Volkswagen on the market cap side of things yesterday, obviously to the downside. But there's GoEV, there's Lucid, as we said, and then a few other little ones. This iDrive is an interesting one, moving around here a little bit more in the pre-market. And we haven't talked about Fisker in a while. It seems FSR up 1.5%.
So this is GoEV in particular of those names, and there's a host of them, obviously. And actually, GoEV at one point was up more. Actually, I think until the aftermarket was up more in the session than Rivian, and then had a monster move this pre-market and was again leading the way. It stalled out at this 1350 level. I made the mistake of getting in on the way up instead of on the way back down. So it's a good level now at this 1350 because I saw it fail break. Obviously saw a bit of a secondary roll over there as well. And this was, I mean, pretty much exactly when Rivian was pulling back through that 170 and Lucid came back through that 60 level. This does feel like one of the more volatile ones, but if you had to, and sometimes we do this, and we'll talk about an entire space, and as a day trader, okay, well, which ones do we like? If it's going to be a down day, do I prefer this one short or long? Or I want to catch a bit on this name. I feel like GoEV to me, if we get a pullback day in these and there's a continuation, or it's going to be shorting pops, I like Canoe here, and I'm going to probably go back and forth saying Canoe and GoEV. I like Canoe because it had extended so much further in yesterday's action. It does have this huge gap run here on essentially, and I don't want to call it air, but it was a lot of just pre-market pumping up into that 1350 level. As opposed to sort of just, holding up there in Rivian and then falling, and then the same thing happened on Lucid, right? The volumes come in and sold off almost exclusively, but there's a lot of people that actually would have got the long on GoEV going into this one. And I just think that gives it a better opportunity to roll over. So I do have eyeballs on that. But there was a question, someone asking about Target. I have two levels for Target. 52 is one of them on the 15-minute chart, and the other one is down to 246.50. So it's rapidly approaching. In the pre-market, I'd rather see it, consolidate a little bit before we got in there. And then Prague, I've been in and out of that. It's got a double top at 6 even. On the daily chart, there's a level up there at 650 as well. So we're going to be all over those. And CEI has made another, bounce, and is back to life a little bit. So we should be watching that as well. Thank you, Gabriel, for the super chat from Quebec. Yeah, there we go. Love to have viewers from all over the place. But yeah, Quebec, it's been a long time since I've been. Last time was driving back from Halifax. We stopped off in Quebec and got some, I think it was like St. Hubert's, believe it or not.
Nice.
They're not in Ontario anymore.
They're not in Ontario?
No, I think they're only in Quebec. There was
one on the Queensway that I really liked. And I got to give a big shout out. We've already done this. We'll hit the O Canada for the shout out to Quebec. And then we'll hit the siren alert as Team Canada takes down Mexico last night. 2-1. I watched the whole damn game. It was an exciting game. I was tweeting out during the game. What's up to Brampton, man? Kyle Larin got both goals. He's Brampton native. So, you know, we thought we had the best, you know, most famous Brampton person on our team. Right? I mean, it's Brendan, Brad, it's one of those two. But as of last night, I think we have a new Brampton hero. But mine is still going to be Brendan. What, yours?
Oddly enough, you guys won't know him, but it's he was nicknamed Golden Boy. Dave Thomas played for Michigan State. He was a point guard, and anyways, he went to the Final Four.
I wanted to get your opinion on this, guys, because I heard somebody compare this win to something similar of an England beating Canada in hockey. It's on that kind of a
It's not even close.
Even bigger.
No.
What?
No.
Canada was number 3 going into
England
this.
beating Canada in hockey.
I heard that this morning, and I thought
Wow.
That seems a little extreme, but I mean, it's a big deal. But I mean, how
it might be kind of like England beating Italy or something.
Right.
They couldn't beat England. Probably couldn't beat Greg's like intramural hockey team.
Yeah. Well, hey, I don't know. I don't know. England might.
Greg's pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, national player. But the point is, no, it's not that. I mean, Canada was favored actually to win the.
Yeah,
so, I mean, for those of you that don't, I bet the game. Canada was favored to win. So, if you put England on any sort of an ice surface, curling, anything with Canada, England will not be favored. So thank you, Brendan, for that. Now you got me all heated with this, but it was a fantastic game, and shout out to everybody who watched that. It was only -14 with the wind chill, and they're playing outdoors, so that makes a lot of sense as well. So thank you so much for the schedule makers on that one. That definitely helped out Canada, but it's not like our dudes are used to playing in that temperature anyways. I mean, these guys are all international players. But okay, Brendan, let's see who's been upgraded and downgraded today. Some of the favorites on the top left there.
I saw one of the celebrations. The guy jumped in the snowbank. That was amazing. So Canadian, here we go. AMC, Boeing, Plug Power back on the upside. Qualcomm here as well. AMC, interesting. It is negative in the pre-market here, so heads up on that. Negative news on ATVI yesterday. Some other downgrades to note, guys.
So one of those on there, Plug Power, we talk about it all the time, man. You take profit sometimes as a way to buy dips and get back in. Didn't do it, so every now and then that's going to happen. You know, sort of talking about this around that 40 level on the daily chart. It doesn't pull back much, so that's one of those situations where you just take it out. No one ever went broke taking profit, and now I'm looking very cleanly at a 44.5 break. You're going to see another cluster up here in the pre-market. This is just a couple of days ago, 44.5 right here. Definitely with scalps, I'm in front of $45, but is this always a chance when you take a break like this that it halts at a 45 and then reverses on you because it's that even dollar number. So you want to make sure you're taking some profit out in case we get there. We're about 70 cents away, so it's not as if it's threatening this right now in the pre-market. Volume's okay for Plug, but with the upgrade, with the momentum here, I do like that break. There's a decent chance that if we get any further pullback in, let's say, like Rivian and Lucid, these other names, Plug might start to fall as well, and then we're playing this level a little bit later. But I got this one in here, locked and loaded and ready to go, but I only want it on a break. If there is any chance at a bigger dip, I mean, I like this 41 level. It was a clean breakout when we headed to this 44.5 top, and then it was all kinds of support in the morning yesterday when things flushed at the open and then took off.
Yeah, what's up, Frank? We did already just talk about PayPal, so what's up to Frank there? Roblox flushing while Roblox touched 120 yesterday. A shout out to Ryan. Thank you so much. I saw that this morning, the Staples Center being renamed Crypto.com Arena. So, I mean, the Staples Center is one of the biggest and most, watched arenas. I mean, it's where the Lakers and obviously the Clippers play. So I think that's a big boost for everything. I think it's a big boost for Coinbase. I think it's a big boost for just the overall acceptance of the crypto space. So, I mean, it's not going to move Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything like that, but I like it. I think it's just another positive thing. I don't know if it's a mover or not. We could check out Coinbase. I want to talk about Fisker. Fisker right now should take out $24 today. It did have a nice jump in the pre-market on everything. I mean, Lucid was up as well at some point, but that 24.50 looking nice. I still think we take out yesterday's high, so maybe a 23.80. We can punch that for a long on Fisker. So that's another name I'm looking at. And then just look up Coinbase now, because we did get that super chat. So thank you for that, even though it's not about Coinbase, it's just the $5. Come on, let's go. You know, we did sell Coinbase before earnings, thought it was a little bit heated. There, it's had a beautiful run. This is why we sold it. We actually got it out right at 360, more than 360.50 or something like that. We got out. It completed the complete U on the daily chart. Now it's just hovering around here. I wish I would have been able to buy it back on that flush. This was the earnings day, big flush down. No idea why it even went down that low. I mean, the targets we had were maybe in here, 320, 330. Flushes down to $3. That was a gift. You're now in the money 15, well, not 15, close to 15% on that. Well, almost. It has to get to 360 for that. But you're back in the money at least 10%, depending on where you got it. I think Coinbase does falter a little bit. We've seen Bitcoin now. Nice recovery for Bitcoin. So yesterday, it was a little bit shady there. I remember going to bed and let's zoom this out a little bit if we can. We were, this is what was happening basically. I was right in here, I guess, when I was going to bed. But we had touched down about 58.5. And it started to go. I didn't even realize we battled back to 60 before touching 58 again. So maybe we found a little bit of a bottom. If you can zoom back out here a little bit, as I will push over, hard to push over these charts. There it is. We've hit this bottom now a couple times, 58, 59. So let's see if crypto can hold that. It's going to be a big boom, man. I actually should go into my account right now and put in a buy order if we take out 61.5 because that's been some nice support down there. I think 61.5 probably breaks at some point, so we'll watch out for that on the big guy there. BTC, a nice little bid through 61.5. I like that. Even 61.4, I think that can go. So Bitcoin on a nice little movement to the downside, giving us opportunities to buy. So I like Bitcoin breaking the 61.5 to the upside.
Guys, we'll touch on that. Camber, moving around doing volume for CEI. But TJX here, another one with earnings. I saw a couple of people mentioning this. Right at 74, there's a bit of a wall, to say the least, at 74, but up 6.3%. I mean, it wasn't more about the report than it was about their holiday forecast and how they basically said, what supply chain problems? We're going to be fine when it comes to people shopping for the holidays. And I think that has more to do with, or this move has more to do with that than the actual report. It was fine, but it wasn't, blowing anything out of the water. But huge level here, guys, for TJX 74.
Yeah, it just feels like that's going to be the case with some of these retailers. It's like, what are you telling us about going forward? Are you concerned? Are you not concerned about your forward guidance, especially as it relates to supply chain issues? But which, by the way, we'll say this for the second time, there was a monster pullback in some shipping costs. The Baltic Dry Index again. I mean, it was down, I think, like 27. I think I said yesterday, week over week. And look, maybe that's the sign of things to come, right? Like there has to be a crest for this, and then you want to be ahead of it. And if we're starting to get past that, I think the retailers are going to be the beneficiaries here. Now, this level that you're seeing at 74, there's not a ton of volume pre-market. It is worth noting, like this size you see here, that's a New York book order, meaning it's not executable until the actual market open, which is at 9:30 or just after for New York stock when they do open it up. So it's not as if there's a gigantic level sitting there. You just want to make sure if you're looking at this, you might think, oh, there's 70,000 shares on the offer. That's not executable for another half an hour or so. But there is a bit of a level forming here, which, in normal circumstances would probably set you up for a break. I don't have any, wrong way. I don't have any sort of like extra confirmation at this level. It's just sort of sitting out there in air at 74. If the same thing was happening at like 72.50 right here, double top, I'd be taking that for a break the same way I like that multi-day break on plug. But I don't really see anything there on TJX. If you open up and then that resistance is just sitting there with a large order, after the market open, then I guess you'd maybe have a little bit of something. I just think Target might be the retailer more interesting to day trade today.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at TJ Maxx or anything yet, but another good name. We are getting very, very close to a spot here. I like this 252 right here on Target. It's a daily. We've been rocking and rolling on Target. You're going to get an opportunity to basically buy this back to. It's not like it's great levels here. Target it's been a roller coaster, man. Again, another one of those. It's not dead money like Walmart's been dead money, but it's not far from it. Target's had a nice little bump up here for sure in the last little bit. We were just at 222 back beginning of October. To rip that up there, 20% is a nice move in the month of October alone, and then a little bit of November. But now you're giving it all back, and you're just heading back over to some of these levels that we've already seen before. So I just think a 252 can hold. And then the thing is, if you go long there, like I'm planning on doing it, you can get out if it cracks through 250. So there is a 250 bottom here on target. And then if you look 1 minute, there's a 20-minute right here. So here's 252 right here. We've already bounced off there the last couple days, and so it looks great on a 20-minute chart. So we're trying to get some longs right now into target. Let's just do a quick look. Arun and I, I was going to say, Neil, you weren't here yesterday, but obviously you were. It was Brendan that wasn't. We talked about the imbalance locator, so we did a good job of that yesterday, so we can look at this again. 925 NASDAQ's coming out, but we'll have a quick look right now. Nothing on here. Someone said yesterday, how is my XOM short? I mean, A, I haven't shorted it yet. B, I do want to find some puts on this, waiting for one more bump up. I think it's about time to short XOM. And I don't know if it was trying to be like a burn or anything to me, but like, how's my short on XOM? Like, I mean, it's not... Right now, XOM's not doing anything. I would love to get this thing up to $66 one more time on a nice little bump through oil, and then we'll short this thing again. We put a put on it right down here. We cashed out when it went down. I want to buy puts again on XOM at some point. So I don't know. I'm not in it yet. But even if you are, I think you can get puts right now for January, February on this thing, at even $60 or $58 puts, and then hold me to that one if you want. Okay, so EDU, just looking Snap. Some talk about Snapchat here on our discussion today. We will look at that. Cisco coming through today, I believe, with their report. If it's not tonight, it's tomorrow. And then Disney, wow, like it's almost time to buy this name. It's kind of just hovering around right now. I do like Disney at these levels. I mean, I think you have to, it's going to take a while for the chart to load up, but we've now, or is it? Maybe it's not even going to load. Yeah, Disney just IPO'd back in March, so we don't have any dates back.
Good news stock.
Beyond there.
Not a great IPO.
Not a great IPO on Disney. Yeah, I mean, it came out at about 187, and of course, we're just joking here. But I'll have to refresh the charts. But it's held. So Disney on a big, I mean, we can zoom in. This is more the better talk. On a big disappointment, we did get some out here, 176 or whatever it was the day before earnings. So I guess it was probably in here, 175. And then it dipped down here. But now we've started to make a base. This is the kind of base that we're looking at. So I will be a buyer of Disney today, especially if there's any market weakness. I'm a buyer of Disney today in the long-term portfolio. Not necessarily a swing trade. I think you can buy it for value as it creeps back up. I said this about Disney. I said it's going to be, what did I say? $5 down, $10 up. So if this was a move to the downside of $10, I think we can retrace back to 20, which gives us 178. So that would make sense to me. So I think we can get back up there. Let's wait to see what Disney, what Disney does. We bought PayPal on weakness after it formed a bottom, and we're going to do the same thing here with Disney. And I'm close to pulling the trigger on PaySafe, believe it or not.
Yeah, lots of things to consider as we head into the final month. It's almost December. It's crazy. Let's get into the watch list, guys. That is the link you need to head to grab the absolutely free for you every single morning watch list. We'll send it out every morning before we come on. At 8:30, Ms. V has that link if you need it in the chat, guys. Let's get into some EV names. We've talked about a few of these already, but we'll plan out some trades here. Maybe Lucid Group, the first one. I was just watching these, like, if this thing goes red, what do we do with Lucid here, guys?
Whoa, you buy it.
No, it's like, so you can talk about these, I guess, sort of lock in step here because Lucid just took out this fresh low here. I look back into yesterday's action. When it's a momentum stock, don't go too far back to look for support. I look right to where the biggest dip was in the afternoon, and that was right here when you had that 54.50. It was a triple top. It eventually broke out late in the day during the last hour of the show, and this pullback gave you 52.5. So I think that could be your floor. I'm just noticing here that oddly enough, during this breakdown on Lucid, Rivian is holding that 55 to 60 cluster. So at least a little bit of, I want to say relative strength, but keep in mind this much, Lucid is still up on the session. Rivian is now down 9%. So sometimes it's where it's come from. Like they might be moving together, but Rivian is already in negative territory, whereas Lucid isn't. That might be why you're seeing a bit of a relative push into the downside. If it gets to 55.5, which, I mean, yeah, it just bounced off it right now. If they get through 55.5, I think there's some runway down to that 52.5 area on Lucid. It's been a great break for them, car of the year, yada yada. But there's not going to be obvious levels to work off of. That's why I want to go to that. That's why I want to go to that daily chart, to the 1 minute chart. I do like GoEV a little bit better for a setup to the short side, because 1350, I have way more confidence is a good level on this. If Lucid were to pop back up, I'm looking at this 58 right here, similar to this 160 level on Rivian. It could get a nice little break. It does give you $2.50 to that previous 55.5, the positive to negative story, the same way a Rivian 160 break gives you to that 155 support.
I don't know, Apple announcing self-service repair. I don't know what even that means. I'm not repairing my own phone, that's for sure. Okay, so right here we have Lucid on the sticky note right now. This is the future EV. Like, everyone's loving this. This is what I'm writing down on here. All eyes have been on Lucid. I'll try to short the 62 pop. Obviously, that didn't happen. We'll talk about that. That's right there. That's the high. We were there earlier. We're not there right now. Obviously, we're coming back into 55. But this is what I also said. You know, possible long support between 52 and 54. So Neil had 52.50. I think if you're going to try to build a position on Lucid, obviously you're going to, want to give it a little bit of room. So if you did start to build this thing at, like, this is what I'm talking about, just right in here where we had some stop and go areas before absolutely taking off, and then this morning waking up to a 62 print. Like, if we were anywhere around here, then that would be a death short. Like, I would love that short to get that up here, 60, 61, 62, because we have now a defined top. So if this thing rips up, man, I'll be shorting 60, 61, looking at that 62. Try not to make the mistake of getting short like 58, 59, like building it. I want to put on, like I just said, a decent position if we can get up to 60, 61. This is what I'm looking for. And then I don't know if we won't go as hard on the long, because obviously there is some areas of support that we can't really find if it breaks through 53, 54. I'm just kind of just guessing at this 52 level, but you could continue to fall down. I mean, realistically, the only real support is down here in the mid 40s. I mean, this is the only place that we've barcoded for a couple days before taking off, and that's like 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, and then we started to take off. So I'm going to use the 16th here data yesterday between 53 and 54 as something, but other than that, man, Lucid continues to make moves to the downside, and I'm going to be a buyer down here at 54. So we'll stick a bid there. We'll see if we can get some love, and if it breaks through 52, then we're going to be gone on this name. So we'll buy a 54. I mean, Lucid was my #1 stock yesterday. I don't think any of the levels that I took, none of these trades are here yesterday. But we absolutely destroyed Lucid yesterday. It was my #1 stock, and we'll look to do the same thing today. But a 54 bid and a 60 short will play in that range.
Heads up on Cassava Sciences, guys. Big move down here. SEC investigating the company with regards to their Alzheimer's drug. So 15% straight to the downside on heavy volume. Selling still coming in here. We're getting back into these levels once again that came into play after that initial dive from SAVA. So we go down, we go back up, and now we're all the way back down again here for Cassava Sciences.
Go ahead.
No, I just want to say, someone here, I'm not sure how they figured this out, but El Virajo here. Hey, Sean, I know you are American, but do you speak French? So if you know I'm American, then you should know if I speak French or not, right? So
yeah, exactly.
We'll leave it at that. But go ahead with Sava.
Cassava Sciences on the daily. There's room down further here if it breaks. On the daily, you have like a 50 level, which is obvious. The last time it pulled back in, that was support. 50 goes, and you've got kind of like a double bottom around 40, probably all the way up to like 43. So 50 is that big line in the sand. On that news, always go to the higher time frame. It actually already bounced off 50. So I'm sort of shooting in front of 55 to short the pop here. There's nothing good about that news, guys. So I'm not gonna stick anything out there saying that I want to go long Cassava Sciences in front of 50. If you take your shot, I think you have it to find out. I just want to point out in Prague, I almost said Prague. On Prague, I did have a quick short and then got out of it very, very quickly. Didn't want to hold it into 8 o'clock because 8 o'clock is when some of those dark pool dumps come through, and it's kind of a pain in the butt. And then it broke out on that 580 level, which was also a level on the daily chart. It's now held $6 and lower highs twice, but also putting in a series of higher lows. So Prague is set up for a breakout. This is not necessarily the same break that was at 410 yesterday. It is at least a little bit similar and not as strong of a level because you had a 410, which only a few days ago was a breakout. Then this was the 450 level. So as you're looking at 6, you have to go a little bit further back, and it's not as defined of a level there. So I don't love it as much as the lower hanging fruit of 410 yesterday, but we obviously up 50% since that 410 break. Sets up for a 601 break because it did take out 6 on a fail break. And higher lows, putting some momentum into the open here with just about 20 minutes to go. So there's a lot to watch. Don't sleep on Prague. I am now going to be looking to trade Sava. It wasn't on the radar before, but I'll be shorting the pop into 55.
Yeah, hard not to continue to watch some of these EV names as well, accelerating almost to the downside as we speak here. Let's go to Rivian. Seems to be leading as far as the move back down after obviously quite the few days for Rivian, as we said, topping out yesterday above Volkswagen's market cap for the first time, which was impressive, obviously.
Yeah, I had to double check that because I didn't even believe that. But you are right, Volkswagen. I mean, if that's not a screaming short on Rivian, then I don't know
9
what
million
the
vehicles
hell
they
is like. But anyways, we love our Volkswagen. The Volkswagen Atlas is a pretty sweet car. This is me on Prague yesterday, man, and we went long Prague. We can talk about Rivian in a minute, but we went long Prague yesterday, 426, right? Cashed it out at that 5. I mean, we cashed it out early, but then we should have got longer back in here, but we did hold a piece to get out at $5. So yesterday, Prague for us was money, 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 money. All right, and then we'll bring it in today and look at Prague again. And I think that honestly, the $6 level here, I already have an order to go. We're going to go long on Progenity if it breaks through that level. So that is what we're going to be doing on that name. And I know Neil just talked about it. Okay, Rivian, again, another name that's the number 1 or number 2 name on my sticky note here today. And it's just what I said before. I've said this before and been right. So we'll see. This is the exact same note that I made on Macy's that one day when it went from 28 to 25. Too far, too fast. Okay, so the Fast and Furious here on Rivian. It's too far, too fast, man. It's just, it is what it is. This is just too much, man. It's like what was that coach on Arizona? The Bears are who we think they are.
Dennis Green, baby.
Dennis Green, they are who they think we are. And I mean, the thing is, this just keeps going to the upside and it just keeps exploding.
Poor guy.
And honestly, like, who knows where we're going to go from here? But I would say that the risk obviously is to the downside now. We've gone too far, too fast. This company should not. I mean, no matter what order book they have, no matter what's happening with Rivian, they should not be valued more than Volkswagen. Volkswagen owns there's so many different car lineups that they own. And they're a monster. They have already all these production facilities, this and that. I can go on, but it doesn't matter because the market, like they say in basketball, ball don't lie, right? So the market's going to tell us the truth. Today, though, I think the truth sets you free because Rivian comes to the downside today for sure, and we're just looking for shorts. All yesterday, man, we were short this name. We got destroyed in the morning on these moves. That was funny. I actually have a 156 out, which is right down here, which is crazy. I also have a bid up here at 168. The shorts paid us off all yesterday, even including into the close. So we'll see today. I wrote down here 154 break to the downside. So if you look at yesterday's sort of trading here, we did have a 154 spot. I think we break that at some point today. Obviously, I'm going to say we short this into 160. So that's going to be a level that we short. And then look, if we're wrong, we're not going to hold this. I don't need to be proven wrong with a $10 loser. I can be in and out of this thing real quick. So I think we'll short it up to 160, which we could get right off the open. And then hopefully we can punch our ticket short at 154. So that's going to be the trade. We'll analyze it when we're in it, what our outs are going to be, because I don't know what the levels are. But so far, so good on the short thesis for Rivian.
Yeah, accelerating on some of these, as we were saying, to the downside. Anyone wondering on Arun, guys, everything's fine. We just had some Zoom issues, unfortunately. So he's talking on the downside. So he was looking at a more negative selling kind of bias this morning. He was talking about resistance, 47.15, 46.80, 46.65 on the other side. So heads up to the downside, essentially, from Arun. We'll get him back hopefully tomorrow. Lowe's, the next one here. We had Home Depot earlier. Lowe's today, LOW. I mean, it's a decent report, obviously, for Lowe's, guys, but with everything else moving around, maybe not enough attention here.
Yeah, look, if the analysts think that you're going to have a drop in same-store sales and you actually have an increase, last time I checked, that's going to be good. And surprises are what sometimes move the market. And when you get a surprise like that in a stock, which is already strong and already looking gorgeous, then you're going to get a nice little uptick here. Now, of course, looking at Target, because it didn't feel all that bad in Target and you're getting a move down, so it feels like a bit of a buying opportunity. But I'm not, I wouldn't be thinking about fading lows in any stretch of the imagination. I think, if anything, psychologically, any pullback into 250 could be tradable. It's not done pre-market volume, and at this point, you'd be chasing a move here. So I'd be looking at a 250, or otherwise maybe not even trading it at all. As I say all of this, Lucid's starting to come down towards this, that 52.5 level. It's just breaking 54 or touching 54 right now, so that's starting to come off. Rivian's still in that 55 to 60 range, but watching Lucid come off here. And you know what? We've just gone over Cassava Sciences and confirmed that we actually had shortable shares. And then it broke 50, went all the way down to 46. So I'm going to adjust, on the fly here. Obviously, when I was saying I wanted to short in front of any pop to 40, 54, 55, that was before it had broken 50. Now I want to have a look, see at that 50 level, every $5 or so on Cassava Sciences. There's still room downside, like 40 to 43 is next support on the daily. So there is still some room here in Sava to continue falling. I guess if it goes far enough, there's always a hope to try to catch a bid, but I'm not there yet.
Here's the headline. Wall Street Journal reporting this first off. SEC investigating Cassava Sciences, the developer of their experimental Alzheimer's treatment. So that's what kicked off that selling today. Let's continue along. Lots to go here. Target, guys, another Walmart-like chart here for Target. Decent report for Walmart we talked about earlier in the week. Target now also saying that they were able to offload some of their container ships that had been kind of tied up in ports ahead of the holiday season. So that was a little bit of positivity for them as well.
All right, so before we go over to that, we just talked about where we would be buying Lucid, right? $54. So right there, we're already going to hit it. You heard the register, or you heard the siren. So there it is right there, a quick 45 cents on the first half of Lucid, man. We get in there at 54. And again, there it is. So if you want 40 cents right away, there it was. We just took it right there, right out, right away. We get that 54.21. And then the cash out was exactly at 63. So already in and out there, 40 cents. 41 cents to be exact there on the win for Lucid. Now we'll see, man. I still have bids lower, so we'll see if it can come in. But there it is right there, man. Taken out for a nice little win. We'll see if we can get back to the upside. So hopefully you're able to follow some of these trades with us. I don't know where it's going to go, but there is a quick out. I think you mentioned we were talking about Target there. I'm trying to do the same thing on Target, man. I'm trying to buy 252. So we've already talked about this. I think it was a good quarter for them. They talked about coming through with holiday shopping should be higher than expected. So here we go. I'm looking at this 252 area, and I won't change my mind until it breaks 250. So that's going to be Target. Obviously, I'm here trying to hit these trades early, and it's a little early, but it's only 9:16 now. So
not that early.
It's not that early. As I looked at it, I thought it was earlier than that. So it's because we missed up on Arun. We didn't miss Arun. We got his levels, but normally he's there, and that sort of gives me an idea of where we're at. But Target 252 is a good one, man. And here goes Lucid again, back through 60. So 50 cents on this, 40 cents on the money here as we're trying to bring it in, man. Rain down this cash, but I don't know if you had any other levels on Target. I don't know if I want to short this.
Only if it can't hold 250. I am looking further down at 246.5, which I don't think that's going to come into play. But I always put stink bid ideas out there in case of the absolute worst, guys. Still watching Cassava Sciences move around a little bit. It just got to 48 even. If it gets to 50, that's going to be actionable for me there. Brendo.
This headline on Square, guys. We can show you teaming up with Tidal for a couple of different things. I'm going to read through this a little bit more, but it's in aims or ways to get artists paid further on the music side of things. So there's no reaction here for Square, but interesting headline there for SQ to keep in mind. Boeing back on the move today, back to the upside. More deals, more plane sales for Boeing. So it's been a couple days in a row here. They've been announcing new deals. The latest coming from the Dubai Air Show, Alaska Air, a Mumbai base carrier, buying a few planes for them. $9 billion worth of planes. That's a lot of planes. Wells Fargo also upgrading Boeing today.
Boeing got kind of smoked yesterday, right? It rejected 235 to the tone of a $10 drop. So, I mean, I'll be looking at 235 rejected, down to 225. I'll be looking at that level. You get their 15-minute chart, and then you got the bounce there at 225. So if they decide to sell this level off, I'm looking 225, then I'm looking 220 for dip buys. When it did find a bottom here, initially at 226, it gave you a nice retracement back into VWAP. That was right during about lunchtime. So I'd be a little bit surprised if it sold off like that again, especially when you're getting these positive notes come through. I like where they're at and what they're doing. I saw a similar thing happen to GE, which, if it gets to 100, I think that's a good buy as well. But Boeing is the one on the radar here for today. So whether we get 225, it's up to the stock to come down to that price. And just I was saying an update in Cassava Sciences, but then not really showing you guys the chart there. It was bouncing off of 48. Now it's actually starting to head back into this 50 level. I mean, ignore VWAP for now. I don't think it's that important of an indicator, but it was a hard breakdown at 50 even. If it rejects that level off of the open, then it might be struggling today, and we could see that 43, and I'd be looking for that sort of pop and fade type of idea. On Cassava Sciences, obviously it's short sell restricted. It's down 20%.
All right, man, we are absolutely smoking right now on Lucid, up to 54, so we have another 80 cents right there. Yeah, what up? There it is. Boom, blow that up right there. Up to 54.90, guys. We're logged 54.20, so we're starting the day off on the right note here. DraftKings gets to deal with FaZe Clan. I think they are a online gaming team or something. They're the ones coming to market soon, I believe, and I keep hearing Trader Prad mentioning FaZe Clan, so I believe that's what that is. But DraftKings, man, what a good call. And again, we get some right, some wrong, and I talk about them all, as you guys know. We got this one 100% right. We sold pretty much all of our DraftKings up here at 62 bucks. We didn't get the ultimate high, but look at this, man, chopped in half, almost down to 40 now. Could find a base here, just waiting for it to base out. Realistically, I have a goal of 42 here. If 42 can break on DraftKings back to the upside, then I think that's where we'll go long. And this is just one of those things where, and again, we don't sell anything here, but if we were, I would always try to preach that it's better to buy something on the way back up than on the way down, right? And I can explain why that is. There we go. Let's go Lucid. Lucid right now, guys. We'll just, I don't know what we'll do. We'll hit the cowbell because now Lucid in the money $1 now on this trade. So wowie wooey right there. We may just take this out, man. This has been a nice little move for $1 here while now it comes back in. But anyways, DraftKings on pressure here continues to be, in the face. I like it for a long. It's just we're not going to try to catch a falling sword. This is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 days plus today with 2 green days spread in there. So it's it's 15 to 2 right now, red to green days here going back to the start of the month. So it hasn't been a good one here for DraftKings. I'm not going to pick up the falling sword, but it's a good detail today.
Yeah, a bit of a sell-off, to say the least. Let's go Tesla quickly here. 9 minutes away from the open here, guys. JP Morgan Chase suing Tesla over $162 million payment of warrants that expired above the strike price. This has to do with a story that came out way back in 2018. So there's a lawsuit on that side. That was yesterday, actually. Elon, as well, also selling more of his shares, $973 million. The stock did not care yesterday. Obviously, we're higher. Interestingly enough, guys, while all these other EV names getting sold right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting story if you read it because it was related to that funding secured tweet that Elon had famously made, or infamously, I guess, depending on how you want to look at it.
Both.
Yeah, it's both. Yeah, it's kind of infamous. Obviously, he got in some trouble over that. But Elon's going to do Elon. Tesla is going to test a 1080. Looks like 1080. It was kind of the level here when you started that run down through 1100 all the way to this, I guess, hold of 1,000, which has happened now. So it's still 1080 that's going to be the level. It looks like hard resistance there. If we get back up to that one, you're looking for a 1080 break initially to get Tesla to that 1100 mark and then make that rebound happen. So Elon, like you said, selling the shares, everyone knew it was going to sort of happen, but it has caused downward pressure in the stock. It has made its recovery as everyone's now looking forward to what is next. You can't say it's been as strong as Rivian or Lucid, obviously, but just remember Tesla is the leader ultimately. And I'm looking at a 1080 break if we can get there. It looked candidly, when I sat down, this looked a little bit more likely than it does now. So I'm not really sure we're going to get that kind of momentum. For the time being, I'm still watching. Rivian this is a little bit crazy because the way that Lucid's moving and sort of watching, Prog's doing the same thing, by the way.
Rivian's not doing anything,
between
right?
$5.80 and $6, Prog is just sitting there ready to break. And then this whole time, and we talked about Rivian when we came on, it's just sitting here 155 to 160. Technically 160 and a quarter. So it's sort of setting up here with this sort of clean sort of $5 in either direction. And I kind of feel like this one's it'll give you a little bit of both. I have a fade trade ready to go on GoEV in front of 1265, 1275, because I prefer to short a pop in that particular name, Canoe. But Rivian, it's probably not bad for like a quick scalp break if it breaks this 160.25. I'm just surprised it's still sitting here doing this. And speaking of Prog, not to jump around, we have about 5 minutes to the open. This is what I mean on Prog. It's just sitting here 580 to 6 and has really stopped going despite the volume being just as good as it was 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, just some talk here on PayPal asking about what I think about this dip. Yeah, I'm a buyer. We've already done this stock today, but thank you for re-asking if you're just joining us right now with only 5 minutes to go. I think this is a BS call by Bernstein, just trying to get long, and so we'll see. I'm looking at this 208. I'm sitting here. I don't even have any targets for the downside. I don't think this is going to go through 208, but if it does, we'll take the long and we'll address it at that point. But if I don't know. I just don't see us breaking down through 206, 205 today. I don't know. That's going to be down like 4%. I don't see that just on a call. Again, price target set to 220 by them. So obviously it's a come down on their price target there. We've seen a deal with Square not doing anything. We are now more than $1. Let's go. Let's go, Lucid. Let's go, Lucid, right now. We'll spin the money. As this is getting off right now. You can see where we're long, Lucid. Monster breakout for Lucid. Up to 56 and change. We can just take, I think we'll just take this out right now. $2 win for Lucid. Let's go. We'll take this out. Put it on the board. Yes, that was a good idea on Lucid. So we'll take it out and throw it over to Brendo.
Just watching that too. SPI Energy, guys, a little one, bottom end of the board here. 13.5% still, but coming off a little bit. There is a senior note offering for this one. Big move up yesterday. It's worth noting, back to 650. So overall on a daily time frame, this thing is not terribly weak. It held higher at 5. We're up to 7.5, but getting into some of these levels over here, 750 and then 8, worth a watch today for SPI, one that is kind of drifting down already, guys.
So big move there. That Rivian also made that break, but you couldn't get that break at a 160. The longer it coils up, I mean, the bigger the breakout's going to be. So it didn't cross up far enough. It stalled it. VWAP doesn't matter, but 161.5. Someone asked about Naked Brands. It's got a great double top. If it tests here, I think it's a fade. Of course, remember, they're making that combination. So they're going into the EV space as well with some commercial EV names. Yeah, it's true. I'm not making that one up. So Lucid, if Naked Brands gets to 75, like GoEV, I think it's a bit of a fade. GoEV, just to give you the reason for the relative weakness there, GoEV tried to make a pop when both Lucid and Rivian just went. Canoe here it went 10 cents. So as far as I'm concerned, that just strengthens my notion that it's a little bit relatively weaker and won't be bought up on dips quite as heavily as Rivian and Lucid will.
All right, there it goes, man. We'll tweet that out. And I don't know. And again, this is why I feel like we're the realist, and we are who we are. To go back again to talk about this, because look, man, not only on the sticky note. Did I talk about Lucid buying some at 54? I also tweeted it out 11 minutes ago when I got the fill. Like, this was not like, oh my God, I'm going to tweet out a 54 long when it's at 56. Like, I tweeted this out when we got the fill right down there, man. I mean, it was, you can timestamp it. It doesn't matter. Those of you guys watching the show know what's happening. And then there it is right there. And here's our last out. Boom, in there. We took 50 cents, whatever it was early. No doubt about that. And then there's the $2 ring the Reggie on that one right there. So, it was a starter position. So we can't go home early, like we tend to say. It's not a day maker there. It was a great start to the day, but it was an early position. I could still have it on for aesthetics, but really it just ripped up $2. I took it out. I've had these positions earlier, and whether or not this goes 3, 4, 5, 6, I can't control where the stock goes. All I can control is what happens when I step up to the plate, right? And if they're going to throw one right down the middle, we're going to hammer that. So we're already $2 in and out on that. That's how it works, man. That's why I'm here. We'll floss it off, and with only 2 minutes to go. The NASDAQ imbalances are out, so let's check that out. Quick time before we go. Here it is right now. So forget about this one. Is this even open yet? No, like I can't believe
It'll
this
be there
is not,
every day. It's nothing you can do.
I know. I can't believe it's still there. Visa did have some sort of news today, so we could check out that. Maybe Brendan can find that out. I mean, there's so much happening right now. Snapchat, there's really nothing at all on the imbalance locator, so we'll forget about it. We'll watch Lucid off the open. I'm watching Target, obviously, off the open as well, 56.23. So this is right where we got out, so no crying over spilled milk yet for Lucid, but with only a minute and a half to go, should be exciting. Miss V's still in the pink hair. She don't care, and hopefully she'll be ringing the bell very, very soon.
Yeah, under a minute. There's one more. Thank you guys for putting up MTTR. That was a big mover yesterday. Obviously, you would have seen that. It failed hard at $30. I like this for a potential roll at 90 through 30. It gives you a breakout clean at 30 even, but if it does try to pop and fail at 930, this one can be shortable. It hasn't done a lot of pre-market volume as well, so when it made a bit of a spike up here, it has no interest in the pre-market. I think that leans more into the notion that you can at least consider the short. I want something which is not doing crazy amounts of volume if you have to play that fade play. We're getting close to that 50 level on Cassava Sciences, so I think we're going to test that at the open as well. Target bounced once off 252, or at least close enough to it. We'll see if we can't get a retest of that. Miss V, I'm like 99.9. Yeah, she's ready to go, locked and loaded on the bell. So it is hump day, believe it or not. And that solar panel electric vehicle company is debuting today. SEV, I have no idea when it's going to open up, but given the way these other names are moving, that should be one to watch, even if it is a small one. So let's get that countdown rolling, as it is shaping up to be quite an active Wednesday here, guys. Miss V on the bell. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ring it. And we're off.
We're off. Yeah, we're open. We're off. Thank you, Ms. V, for that one. Good little opening here. We're going to see AMD. It looks like it's coming back down. We were watching out for, we're watching out for that big 152, 153 break to the upside. That doesn't look like that's going to be coming through right now. But so far, so good here. We'll just see if we can continue to ring some registers on some of these trades as we go. So we're not in anything right now. We can watch out for Lucid back up to 55. So that looks like that was a good out. We'll watch out Target as well. But I'm not into anything yet, Neil.
Yeah, and same thing here. I mean, I'm not into Cassava Sciences. It just motors through that 50. Whoops, what happened to my main chart? There we go. It motors into that 50 level and then just absolutely busts through. So no rollover there for a fade play. Now I'm looking back up to this. I will probably talk about 52.5 and then 55 even. I only want to play this to the short side until it's like it does something absolutely crazy. Go EV doesn't give me the pop. It just only fades. So it's down like 50 cents already. Relative weakness was there, but I didn't get my setup. And Prague, same thing.
All right, so AMD, we'll try. I mean, that just ripped up, man. We should have took some profit on that AMD trade, that's for sure. Now that I look at this thing, as it's starting to go, it looks like, anyways, to the downside here. AMD, we are long right now, 151.10. I think it's worth averaging in. That 150 is just a psychological level. We can have a quick look at that to see if there's anything there. Yeah, we got to get out if this breaks through 150, guys. So that's a little bit of a target area there. Speaking about target, we'll have a look at that in a minute. And there goes Rivian, man. We waited for that short. At 162, we never got it. Now it's down to 156 at the bottom. Go ahead.
There was a big buyer there at 52 even on Cassava Sciences. They actually ticked this one up. They were sitting at 51.50. They ticked it up to 52. Prague just took out the top, so I got that long. I'm now watching. If they can hold that up to 56, or 55, I'm going to get that short for sure and solid. But a big buyer there. Progenity, the first one to make its move. It made a bit of a power move there. So, we take an even break. I like those quarters. Give me a break. Talking about it, trying to get those quarters and 15s out there. So it does the 6 break. Looks like it's trying to battle here at those 10s. So might have to take at least, I don't know, like 10% out. Should have had that on the way up. And then see if we can get some to the quarters, then to those 50s. Go EV is still crashing here. And you're still holding that Rivian 155. So that level, at least for now, is still in play. But if it goes, I mean, just like the way it broke that 160 to the upside, could do the same thing to the downside and be a great short.
Yeah, we'll probably get out of this Prague. We already took some profit there at 12. We'll see if it breaks back down below this 569 or so. We'll get out of that one. We should have reloaded our AMD. We were too busy looking at that Prague, looking at Lucid, Rivian. We do have our order in for Rivian right now as well to go to the downside. So let's go. No, I'm waiting for 50. My break is 54. So you'll get a 55 break now. So there it is.
That was a late fill.
No, because it came back up. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, whatever. The spread on this thing is nuts.
Yeah.
So we're going to wait for a 54 fill there. That's why. I mean, that was my level. Coming back up now into 56, 57 for Rivian. So, yeah, maybe a 160 short, something like that, could be on the table here for RIVN. And I know you're in that short. So I'm going to wait for it as well. And hopefully it comes through at that level. I'll wait for a 159 or so bid on that name. Prague bouncing around as well. Let's take a quick look on Target. And again, this is the time where we kind of ignore the chat because there's so much happening right now. Brendan's going to give us any news if there's anything popping through. 256, yeah, Target's starting to get back up. Looks like our 252 was a great area. We just never got filled down there. So we'll see if it can come back in, maybe 254 or so for Target.
And a new position alert. Sava on the way back down. That buyer finally broke a little bit here, so they stalled out. It got to 54. I actually had to chase this one down to like 52 and a half. Thankfully, starter position. If we get some more shares, it has to be 53, 53 and a half. And for Rivian, it's pretty clean. I mean, that 160 level, I kind of feel, I know it went to 161 and a half, but to me, I'm giving it to 160 because that same channel from 55 to 60 has to be the key one. Brendo, what you got, bud?
Wow, these EV names can't get out of their own way. All-time highs for Lowe's, guys. Big volume there. There was a flush back through 250, but we're back into all-time high territory, trying to test pre-market highs here for Lowe's.
Wow, Lowe's.
Yeah,
strong moves.
Lowe's is a big daddy right there. Okay, so we did take a short finally in Rivian, just watching it bounce around there near that 158. So we will go short on that name and then see what happens there. We just lost on Prague, but it's no real big deal. It breaks through there. We did take a piece out there, but we do lose on the last 2/3 of that trade. Rivian now $1 in the money on this short. We've already shorted that 158. It's coming back down to 154 right now. We'll see if we can get a bid downside on Rivian. A nice little $1 in the money as we go mamma mia on that one. Going back to my American roots for that as we come back to the downside on Rivian. We'll wait to see where that goes. Roblox, yeah. Who was like, oh, Roblox, I'm going to get some puts on Roblox. Okay, I'm never going to suggest that, but there comes Roblox right back into the downside. We just got something else. Lucid, okay. Good out for us. Yeah, wow, good out for us on Lucid. They're talking about taking profits early. And again, people are going to tell me, oh, you didn't really take those profits. But obviously I did, as there goes Lucid right now. Back to the upside. We're long 52.75.
By the way, just NVIDIA, who reports aftermarket today, that just broke 300 to the downside. 291.
Look at Rivian, baby.
291 key level on NVIDIA. If it pops any further, this NASDAQ rolls over. I love that level.
What exactly are we doing right now? Spin it. Lucid, we just took more cash on Lucid right there. 52.75, baby. Look where it is right now. And then you want to talk about Rivian. Look at this Rivian short. How does $3 taste, Rivian, right there? Short 158, out 154, 30 or 40, whatever it was. Rivian, we're waiting for that 154 break so we can go short more on that name. But wow, what a morning. This is just nuts. Right now, Lucid. Yo, what up, Miss V? I like the black today. Very nice. See if that boyfriend of yours can bring over some more Danishes. We're going to go short rate. We're still long on Lucid. A nice move to the upside. $1 in the money now as we are ripping and rolling. Look at that Rivian, man. Took down the cash on Rivian. Bring it down, Brendan.
Visa, you mentioned there, Sean, right before the open. It was the UK decision. So Amazon stopped accepting Visa payments in the UK. So yeah, Visa, big move down here. Already 5.2% on heavy volume for V.
Visa, gotta watch out for that. Cassava Sciences just takes VWAP. I actually add to my position through 52. That's where that buyer initially stepped up. So once it breaks that, I think it's headed back down to that key 50 level. So looking to take some out 50s, then 48s, and then 46s, all the way down to those previous lows. MTTR, that was the other name moving from yesterday. It just popped into that 30 level, so I get the short there off of 30 even, 29.75. That's clean. If it breaks 30 even, we're going to reverse into the long side of the trade, guys. So MTTR still moving. Haven't checked in on that I on Q, which was another move from yesterday.
All right, so we're back into the Rivian short again, man. What kind of a day is this again? Like I just keep saying over and over again. Like we look where we just took out Lucid, man. You saw the bang there as Neil was talking. Like there it is. Like this is 52.75 out 54.34. Like some of these moves that we're getting today are absolutely off, man. Like this has been such a fantastic day. Like we're up way more today in the first 10 minutes than we were up in the first 2 hours yesterday. Obviously, we had that problem with Rivian yesterday. That was a situation. But yeah, Lucid. Look how much we've just destroyed this. Long out, long and out, and now we don't have to worry about it. We've already taken a smooth $3 even on Rivian as well. So that was a nice $3 win, and we'll see if it can take that down. We are waiting for the short to come in. I could give this $3 right back, man. If this breaks through 160, even maybe 160, I don't even want to be part of it if it breaks 160, to be honest with you. So we'll double check, make sure our shorting continues to be on point here for Rivian, which it is. My out's going, I don't even have an out on the ops side, so I got to look at that again, but we still want a 154 break, but that's just going to add to the spice that we already have on board.
Just saying, for me, nothing's really changed. I mean, 160 to the top, and then if we probably have to break down to like 151 to cover some of those shares, closer to 1-to-1. Cassava Sciences, actually, I was just on the bid in front of 50, and this is going to happen every now and then. You put a bid in front of an even number, and then it bounces just shy. So I still am going to take some, I'm going to tick it up a little bit to 50, and then get some out in front of 50 even. I'm not really changing the plan too much here. We did come late with that story. The if you're joining us late, Cassava Sciences, SEC investigation, that is the reason why it's down now 18% under some pressure. And then that Matterhorn, or MTTR anyways, back down to like 29.5. I have a bid in front of VWAP. It did just tick up there at 29.46. I'm sitting just a little bit lower than that. So that one looking to work. I think that's a reversal through 30, by the way, and Go EV. It just never gave me the chance. Unfortunately, this is the one I definitely liked to the short side. I wanted to pop. I got to go ahead and cancel these orders here, because if it breaks this range here at 12 even, that's now the opening range top. I do want to make sure that I'm sort of picking my spot very carefully, because that's a wipeout bottom that holds a pre-market low and then tries to make a rebound. So I don't want to get too out far in front of myself. I already have the play on in Rivian. That's risking up to 160 and then looking for that one to eventually at some point maybe retest that 140 to 145 level. Plug just broke high of the day as well. New entry.
Oh, plugged it? Okay, so then, yeah, this is going to be an exciting time here for Rivian as we just took another short. So we got a decent position on right now for Rivian as we just continue to average into this trade. We've only taken it at one time. It hasn't broke that 154, and I'm doing what I sort of said I wouldn't do, but we are very, very close to that 160. So for me, this is probably worth it. We are short. I mean, we'll get a bid out here if we can in the 20s of 156. So if it does come back down, but here it comes, inching back upside there. So we did take the $3. We're still nicely up on Rivian on the day, but again, this is very, very much position pending. We are short right now 157.50, so it's flat on for us right now. If it can come back here to 156 or so, we'll get out. It's been dipping down to 155. We'll just get out of a piece. It's been dipping down to 155 and stopping, so if we can get another piece out right there, then that'd be pretty jammed too. So we'll wait to see where that goes. It looks like our dip buys on AMD, I actually didn't even have any offers out. That was a mistake. We should have had some offers out there, especially when we had this bid. It went to 150. Okay, we should have had that out. But AMD right now, okay. Anyways,
like a rock.
Just to give you an idea there, AMD is going to be getting out at 150. Go ahead, Neil. What was that you're looking at?
Yeah, I mean, Cassava just like a rocket sort of crushed down here to that 48. So second leg out. I'm still holding on to the last third of the position here, and I do want to make sure that we test it down to 46. 43 on the daily chart was a big level, 40 to 43. So I don't think I want to hold this through a fresh low of the day. It's gapped down so far at this particular point that I'd be perfectly happy if we can take $5 or 10% out of the last third of the trade. So we're going to stick with that one. Plug came all the way back after kind of getting to that 45 mark. I tried to get some shares out in front, wasn't quite fast enough. Comes back into the previous pre-market high, or at least close to it at 44.25, and then bounces right back to the upside. So I think that looks like a decent dip buy opportunity. If I do get some shares out, got to cover some first before I would put a dip buy in this situation, because it is to that quarter, not to that even. But that's the look we're doing in Plug Power. And that MTTR did get some out for profit on the way down in front of VWAP. We'll reload in front of 30.
Let's go. We're waiting for this Rivian. Let's go. Just break that 60, man. Break yourself, fool. We'll get back to the downside. I'm sorry if everybody's long, but I've been praising this short. Bang, Brendan. There it is again. Another $2 win on Rivian as we're waiting for the downside move on this one. Wow, what a day, what a day. And AMD right back to the upside. We're going to get some out at 89. I'm offering 89. I don't know why, but here it comes back upside. We are long 76. We'll see if we can take 15 cents. Boom, there it goes. Wow. Brendo, my man, I hope you're having a good day over there on the desk, because this is a banger of one. What's up?
Yeah, it's so much to look at, guys. Here's a Kathy Wood name getting absolutely tanked today, 25%. For Stoneco, they reported aftermarket yesterday. This thing ended the session yesterday around 31. It's at 23.5 right now for STNE.
Wow. Yeah, that's, yeah, you're right. You can use that woodshedded term for that 100%, guys. Like I said, going to get a reload in MTTR here. It just got some on VWAP. Just going to show you guys in the chart. It's 30 down to 29.5 or VWAP, whichever one you want to call it. And then it's a reload in front of that current high, which hits 29.85. I'd like to catch some 80s this time. Last time we got 75s on that print. I talked about NVIDIA catching flushing to the downside. It's not a huge flush. I mean, it's down only 1%. It just retested the low and broke it a little bit here. I'm still waiting down to 291. I didn't really show you guys on the 15-minute chart. This is what that 291 area looks like. So it is a bit of a recent bottom and a breakout point. So if we get there ahead of their print, I want to be a buyer of NVIDIA. As the ES, ES is slightly negative. The NASDAQ is going back and forth here, like up 0.01, down very, very slightly, kind of going sideways, but there is some negative pressure in the market here. I just want to be able to catch NVIDIA if it pops any further down.
Yeah, we did the same thing and already rinsed out a lot of that trade on AMD. It was a good one for us, but we'll wait to see. Hopefully it's going to be even better. We just took some out there in the 90s twice. So our long obviously was in the 40s. We talked about that when it was down to 150. And again, like I gave you the out, I gave you the ins. Hopefully you're able to hit those with us. And there it is for a nice win there on NVIDIA. And then this Lucid, obviously we get that 52. Again, if you're gonna go back on the sticky note, yes, sir. There's another one, man. Another out right there, down to 55 for Rivian, man. 156 we just cashed that out on. So what a difference a day makes, man. Yesterday, Rivian owned us early, and now how the tides have turned, Mr. Rivian. Okay, but Lucid, man. We talked about buying 54s and 52s. So again, we put our money where our mouth is, and we do exactly that. Unfortunately, I got out when it ripped up $2 for me in the money. Now, $3 in the money. So hopefully some of you still have that one. DraftKings, I see someone talking about that quickly. And again, okay, 39, forget about DraftKings. That's not interesting enough to me. Roblox, I was sort of mocking those of you that were talking about going short in the pre-market. It's not mocking. It's not, I'm long 77. I did take some out the other day at 110. And like I said, I wouldn't get out at 110 if I thought this was going to continue just this March. But wow, this is where I'm long. I took a risk. It was a small risk, not small. It was a decent position, but I thought it was the right play there. And we did get some out yesterday around this. Maybe it was one, maybe it was higher. I'll find out. I tweeted it out, so whatever that price was. But right there, 120. It's taking out new all-time highs for this name. And let's go, man. Still $2 in the money on Rivian. Brendan, kill him with kindness. What's up?
KZR, guys, when we talked about beginning of the week.
Good timing.
Going crazy again here today. 18% right now. It's already halted once. Low floater back towards some of these highs that we put in going back to the beginning of the week at 14 for KZR.
Yeah, talk about a crazy mover there, guys. That's absolutely insanity, guys. So watching out for this. If it halts a second time, if you catch a first halt, sometimes I like the long on a first halt. A second halt, I'm not likely to want to go long on it. And I actually traded this one yesterday when I was sitting in Brendan's seat. And you had a bit of a rejection at that 1380 level. Yeah, actually you can see it when it broke $12. So I'm looking to see if it can, and I hate breaks like this. I would never have taken a 1385 because they have that 14 level and it failed a 14 break. I'm looking to fade if we can hold below that 14 level. That looks pretty juicy to me, guys. So already coming back in. It has a halt price at 13 even that you have to be a little bit aware of. But KZR certainly on that radar. Got the reload in MTTR, and then like I said, unplug power, takes them out in front of 45. That allows me to look for a potential buy the dip around that quarter mark. If it takes out 45 even here, that's a place to add on the break now that I've taken half off. So I'm not really looking to exit any more shares on Plug Power. And there is a decent sized offer here on Plug at that $45 mark. That's another reason to take some out. About 100,000 shares they're up on the offer. Actually, no, about 1.4 or 150,000 shares, maybe 140 at 45 on Plug. I'll add if it can break that level.
Okay, so yeah, good talks there on that. And I want to give a big shout out to Ape Nation. What's up, Silverbacks? Right now, as AMC just exploding a little bit here off the open. You made a nice bottom there at $42. For me, I was waiting for $41.50 as that was a good level yesterday. And wow, nice move upside for AMC. Look at this, up to 44. So I think you got some areas of concern here, obviously at the 45-ish range. Okay. we are not reloaded. We are in a position now as target. We talked about how that took off the open, but there we go, man. Our bid comes in. We're long at 252.20, 252.30 right now for target. So we'll see if this can continue its move to the upside. It had a nice little stop and go there at 253.50. So let's put an order around 253. See if we can't catch 70 cents here on a first bid, and then see if it wants to go up to the high side. But what a day this has been, man. We are absolutely on fire right now. So I hope you're having a good day as well, Brendo.
Definitely. Another big mover yesterday, guys. Exciting one. IonQ back to highs here. Just took out that pre-market high on a huge volume spike. All-time highs, in fact. They reported yesterday as well, guys. IonQ.
And just got the reload and plug through. Well, not a reload, I guess, if it's a breakout at 45. So that just took out a high of the day again. So a couple of breaks already on plug power. Have to start thinking about both quarters and 50s. But then the next level on the daily actually sits $3 higher, up at $4.80, $48.50. Someone's saying, look at Go EV. Oh, that's the daily chart, guys. It's not really doing much of anything. It's still relatively weak. I still like it for the short side of the trade, but unless it gets back up to this 12, I'm not going to be chasing this move on Go EV. Cassava Sciences is back to 50, so it could be time for a reload, but I like that reload closer to that 52 to 53 range on Cassava Sciences. Go EV, I still like the short. It's just, look, it's not really doing much of anything in terms of giving you a short of the pop, so I have to have a setup to make that trade. And then MTTR was the other one, which got the reload in front of 30. It just held 30 even, or 29.95 to be precise. I'll scalp some out in front of VWAP, and then sort of rinse and repeat that price action. If it breaks 30, it's still a reversal to the long side.
All right, guys. Oops, we did it again. So free Brittany. She is now free. And look at this one, guys. AMD LFG. Let's go right now, guys. All the way up to 151 and change. Like, what is even going on? This is another $1.50 winner for us on AMD. Sure, we got some out, but we're still holding. So right now, we are holding this position upside. We'll see if we can get a 152.20, something like that. Maybe a high a day. Yo, what up, Ms. V? Maybe a high day of 153 coming through on this one. But there it goes again on that. $2 in the money on Rivian, guys. 5 cents in the money on Target? Oh, woohoo. No, more than that. What am I even talking about? 40 cents in the money on Target. Come on, Target. We're at 253. Let's get a little piece out of this one if we can get it. So 50 cents in the money on Target. 350 in the money on Rivian. $1.10, $1.20 in the money on AMD. And Lucid has already been who's your daddy on the upside on that one as well. And there it is, man. What an out. Look at this. Now we're starting. Is this going to halt? No, it can't halt.
No, it can't.
But there it goes. Going to break through 155. We just took another one.
It's SSR.
Yeah, it's SSR. That's right. Another one as Rivian just keeps it coming to the downside right now. They are following this thing down. See ya, Rivian. Downside move on this one. We're only short right now. We've only got $4 in the money. Plus, we're going to try to take a break here of 154. They just followed that thing down. See ya. What a great call. This has been on Rivian today. Feeling like Superman. And when this happens, we do have, I don't know if you're ready, but we do have Miss V if you're ready. Not yet, but there's Miss V. There we go. Another short on Rivian. Oh, we don't get it on that one, but there's a 154 break to the downside, guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm holding my Rivian. My first out's not even until it gets halfway from 155 to 150. So 152.5, I'll get excited about it. EV, I apologize, Scott H. We're going to go to Miss V at the big screen. You were asking about EV Go, not Go EV. I'll come back with that one. At the big screen is Miss V, looking good in pink.
Hey guys, Camber Energy is up around 26%. Could you take a look at CEI for us?
Right. So, like, CEI actually, this is 2 days in a row now that CEI is making some moves, and it's back. I want to say it's back up 30%, but remember how far this thing is fallen. $2 is a monster level on this. It's bounced off the 50 period. Watch out for the 200 here at 167. That's what I'm targeting. It's got a 150 top right now, which has only a few 100,000 shares, so not a monster level. I like that 167 a little bit better. I just got my first target, so a quarter out at 152.5. I'm on the bid on the way to 150 on Rivian. That was sort of my target the whole way through. So we'll now put that one in the gates of hell. But Camber, I'll look at 150, but 167 on the daily chart is a better level for me.
Yeah, we're sitting on a bid again here at 152 flat, so we'll see if we can get that back to the downside, man. Yes, and there it is. Like, this has just been a very interesting stock for us here today, Rivian. And again, man, like, I'm going to just keep doing this because I want you guys to hit the likes. We're just at 100 likes right now. What does this say? Too far, too fast. Looking to short. Rivian all day today, man. And that's what we're in right now. So we're on one, to say the least, right now. And this has just been such a great day. I mean, check out this. Let's go with another one. Bang on target, man. Did that even go? I don't know if it did, but there's another win for us on target. Picked that up out 52.97 right there. I mean, it's right here. So there's the out right there on target, man. 56 cents there, more than that on that win. About, what was it? It doesn't matter what it was, but that's a nice out there. Bid 252 out on target. Yeah, this day is just getting accelerated.
Yeah, 150 is about to go here. For me, like,
go.
once you actually take out that level, I mean, you start to think about, you can go with a 15-minute chart. The next thing I set down probably too quickly was 140 and 145. I become the next levels down. So I'll probably cover 145. At some point, I do want to see if you can catch a bit of a dead cat. Well, I don't want to use that term. Catch a bit of a bouncer, and I think 140 would be that level to go. So I'm going to sit in that one. I didn't get any more Cassava Sciences. MTTR, which is that other runner, that failed. I mean, this is not necessarily that related, but as it rolls over, I do want to take another leg out in front of 29 even. That's gone from 30 to 29 here. Much like Rivian, I'm still holding on to the last bit. Want to take it all the way down to that 28.5 low. So that short off of $30 also going to work out. The plug breakout, that's going to go. I mean, I made some money on the way up. The secondary break, when I try to take that 45, is going to be a failure, obviously, with these names now coming back in. Was that Brendan?
Yeah, I was just going to mention plug, guys, and also this one, charge point starting to come back in as well. So they, in the beginning of the week, if you remember, had all kinds of positivity surrounding the EV space, but back to the downside now for both plug and CHPT.
Crazy these days. Yeah, okay, so I don't know. I mean, Neil and I just talking about how crazy some of these stocks are. As look at Rivian, man, and we just retweeted that sticky note for the win. I just wish, obviously, Neil's holding some as well. We're both holding this, but I mean, we could have made months, years, whatever, on some of these holds, but nice move to the downside, now collapsing. See you. Rivian will catch you around the corner. Maybe it's going to be time to buy that name soon enough. Good thing we got out of some target, because now it's the other way against us, 50 cents. So target's coming down into that 252. We will look to pick some more up as I look. I got to really just right now, because of the way today's been, like, all my orders are filling. They're all extremely, well, not all of them.
Orders.
Some of them are good, but that's exactly what we're trying to do right now is look at.
I don't need a 160 stop sitting in there in Rivian for the rest of the day. And the next thing you know, it makes a rebound. And at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm like, why am I long Rivian at this particular? It's just one of these things that'll happen. Like, it doesn't automatically cancel our, well, depending on what you use, doesn't automatically cancel our stop orders if you use a certain one when you cover a trade. Cassava Sciences here. It did get back into VWAP. I said I wanted to wait for 52 or 53 for a reload. Hasn't gotten there yet. I'm still sitting in front of the low of the day for the last of my shares. And then, again, Scott H., like I said, a bit of an apology there. EV Go obviously made the move, and that's what you're asking about, and not Go EV. That's my mistake. It's a little bit late now because you just saw the big move down in Rivian and then Lucid as well. So there was a bit of a fade, but it was right at that 1650 level where I guess it held in the afternoon for the afternoon show. So if it gets back to that price, I guess it does have a chance for a break of 1650. The relative strength is there, if only because of how far this had fallen from $20 into 15. So it's already put in lower support, right? Like it's already had a 25% pullback. And that we already saw I guess the apex of that, or the culmination of that yesterday. So it has a decent chance at 1650, but that is a big level, obviously, on this stock here, guys. Go EV, on the other hand, which, back to that other name, it's finally making a bit of a pop here. So if I had held on to this pre-market trade, obviously I'd be smarter than I really am, because I like this one to the short side and never got back in here at 1330. But it is now making a test of that 12 even level that we like. Brendan?
One from Monday, huge mover on Monday, gave it all back and then some, if you remember. EYPT, iPoint Therapeutics just popping up here, day highs through 1650. This thing got all the way up here to 24 on Monday, guys, for EYPT.
Right. I can't honestly believe that PayPal's falling like this, but we are into PayPal right now.
If it goes to 200 again, give me a break.
Yeah, that ain't happening. Well, it could happen.
Well,
Who knows? I don't know what this market.
I should not say that.
Yeah, I don't know what this market has in store for everybody. So we'll wait to see on that one. That's for sure. But yeah, so right now all is well here, and I hope all is well with you guys as well. Moving into the market here today has been a juicy one. A lot of nice wins, a lot of nice hits. Not hits. We don't have any hits, but a lot of nice covers, so on and so forth. So we're very, very excited about the market today. I'm excited for PayPal. I'm going to give it back down to 205 or so. so. So we've talked about that. I don't even have any orders to clear out with. I don't even know where this name's going to go today, but I'm very, very surprised at this. We're going to take another bid. I do have another bid to go down at 206.50. Looking at a 20-minute range, I mean, I guess we are going to use this somewhere like 205 and change. I don't know why we're doing this. The market's obviously coming down, and I don't think PayPal needs to be beat up like this. So that's why I continue to be long this name. I just hope it can work out.
Yeah, and I just got into that Go EV. It tested that 12 level. I'm going to give it, I was going to say, I'm going to give it to like 12.15. And then it goes 12.15, stops me out. And the only reason for a relatively tight stop there is because there is this 12.50 to 12.65 level, which we're hunting for at the open. So if I like a level higher better, I tend to have a tight stop and then want to get back into the trade. It's just a way to mitigate risk. Take 2 or 3 shots at something instead of taking 1 shot at getting crushed. Rivian is now down to that 145 level. It's getting pretty close. This is splitting hairs. I'm going to get out at 146. For me, this was more about like 55, 60, and then 55.
Crazy, right?
And then 55 down to 145. So out some in front of 150, out some in front of 145. Like I said, and that's probably stick to our word here. As hard as it's falling, this 140 level, that's where I would look to catch any kind of a bid.
Get there?
I just got a 146 bid.
Nice, okay.
So I'm looking for this 140 level, maybe to catch a bit of a bid. On Cassava Sciences, which I'm still short, I have 0 plans on going long that stock today. That's a different kind of beast. Rivian, I think at some point I do want to catch a bit of a buy side trade, but Sava, maybe if it goes to 40, I suppose.
Okay, guys, so again, just a little bit of an update here as Target. It came right back up, and we got out another piece there at 73 or something there on Target, whatever it was. Was it 79? What is that, Phil? There, yes. 73, 74. So another piece out on Target. We tried, I'm bidding 251 flat, and we didn't get any bids down lower than that. So 251 flat's a nice little bid spot for me here on Target, and we'll wait to see. We just took another piece out there. This is the kind of day that we've been having. AMD, a monster move to the upside there. We should have captured it when it was all the way up there. We didn't. The market faded out. Could be another good buying opportunity here for AMD. Would rather pick it up if we came back down to 150 and change, which is coming right now. So if we can get a 150.50 bid, we will take that on this name. Target moving, and then Rivian, man. Let's just fire off the hot dogs for this one, because this is $8 now in the money on Rivian, and Neil just smoked it as well. We both absolutely destroying this name today for you. So hopefully you're able to do the same thing on Rivian. So a nice move to the upside.
Or I should say this, or at least avoid maybe catching a bad long or something like that. Because whether you go long or short, you can learn from price action, right?
Yeah, no, that's what we're doing, man. We're trying to figure this out. It just bounced off 145 there. We should probably get out around that 145 area, but I don't know. We might just hold this. It's a small piece. We're already out. The majority of it was right there at this 152, 153 when we absolutely collapsed. But we did call that 154 short, so it's nice to see where we're going from here. What's up, Mr. Wickens?
Just noticed Roku, guys, having a big day to the downside. Unfortunately, there was a couple. This one talking about Nathanson, downgrading the stock to sell, but there was actually a couple of downgrades on the stock today. So another big mover downside, Roku.
Oh my, look at that.
Yeah, go. I was going to say, before we do this, I just talked about buying AMD and I didn't do it, and then it ripped up like 50 cents. So watch out. We're getting new AMD position now. Go ahead, Neil.
No, I was just saying on Roku, let me move this out of the way because I was tweeting something there. But on Roku, when you get levels like this that break down, look at the consolidation break. That's a gorgeous one. Obviously, we're a little bit late to the party. 250 is psychological, but it is not that meaningful on the daily chart because Roku, I think the last, there you go. Like this is the break as it loads up here. 240, and then this target, that's a wide range. Ooh, that's a wide range. You can tighten it up to like a 215, that cluster, 215 to 240. It's got some room if it breaks that 250. I'm going to stay out of its way. Someone just told me in the chat, they're like, watch out for MTTR. Absolutely, I'm with you. Anytime you get a wipeout bottom like that holds the breakout price at 29, you got to watch out. It's still a higher low, right? Ultimately, on a higher time frame, that's still pretty bullish. If it puts in a higher low and retests the top, it's still a breakout on MTTR at 30 even, but I've already taken most of this out. So I am willing to give this last leg probably to like 29.60 or so, or maybe even, I don't know, I might change my mind and actually tighten that one up a little bit. But for now, I'm looking low of the day, 28.50. Otherwise, somewhere around that VWAP. I might just go with sort of like an area stop, like let it test VWAP, watch how it trades above there. If it catches a bid and things tighten up and there's enough volume, then maybe I would cover the trade. But I want to let this ride a little bit on MTTR.
I'm going to just try to take the 10 bucks, man. I mean, this just bounced off 143 Rivian and nicely moved back to the upside. We'll probably just wind up taking it if it can come back to 144 there. I mean, this has just been such a great day for this name that I'd hate. It doesn't, I mean, wherever this goes, it's going to be irrelevant. But hopefully we can get this bid down at that 144-ish and be able to get out of that one and just ring the Reggie over and over and over again. Okay, so AMD, we've already rang it over and over again. AMD, we did get that buy. We'll see if we can get a 90 or so print here. We'll actually offer 84s right there. Like, what is even... Wow, belly dancer. You got to get the belly dancer for this one. This is what's just been happening. There's another pickup on the downside of AMD. So like Britney Spears, we did it again. And now the money just flows through there. Look at AMD just take off right now. Wow. This has been what a fantastic month, week, year, decade, 22 years for me trading. And here we go, man. We're just cruising this month again. What a fantastic last couple weeks for these markets and these names. That's why we keep going back to the well on the sticky note. There's a lot of the same names on here because of the destruction that is being had. So that's the difference. Once you're following names, guys, you could definitely here put on. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, guys. Once you start, hitting the winners, man, that's what you're looking for. And there it is. Sticky note continues to be rule the roost. As look at this. Wow, AMD, like unbelievable. But we're gonna go over to Brendan as we're gonna calm down here and see what Brendan has to say what's happening now.
Hey guys, yeah, 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at where we're at. Still red, but trying to get back to the upside here. The NASDAQ leading right now, still in negative territory. But as I mentioned, the 100 specifically, the big ones trying to get back into green. 0.3, about 0.25 for the S&P, but maybe trying to find a bottom at this point. We'll keep an eye on how things continue. Look at Tesla. Just took out pre-market highs there on significant volume for Tesla, guys. So back to the upside in a big way, leading the EV space higher. This one we talked about, Lowe's, if you joined us pre-market, 255, failed at that high, right back through the range, guys. Back over to you.
I like that. Someone brought back. Go ahead.
I'm kicking my man. The whole that Tesla bottom bounce when Rivian capitulates, that should have been put on. Obviously, it is what it is at this particular time. Although I'll tell you right now, I heard Miss Veach here, so someone's got the long round here. And as usual, it's our Tesla expert. Oh, I'm assuming, by the way. I hope it is. I hope this is true. I'm assuming it's Miss V there. So good luck.
I hope so.
Good luck there. I just got into some more Go EV again, and again, like when I see something like this, which a hard pushback on volume. And I like a different level better, I'm almost more likely to take a small hit and then try to get back in at a better price. That just sort of saved me. Like, again, if you hold this trade, you're just risking an extra 35 cents, right? So I didn't want to do that, and I'm now back into it here. If it takes out 12.75, I'm going to be out of it. The best price was 13.50, which went in the note this morning. But even I bungled that one, not getting into it at about 7:45 in the morning. As far as Rivian goes, I mean, I'm no longer holding on to this. But it did catch a bit of a bounce around that 144. I would have liked that to be 140, obviously. I would have probably been long. But it's still below that 150 level. And we were just talking about this. Like, look how long that consolidation was effectively at that open, right? Like 155 to 160 held for an hour going into the open. And then it was a failed breakout at that particular price. You could have played this a lot of ways. I should have maybe even looked at failed breakout style trade. Instead, I took the breakdown. Either way, once it failed to regain these levels back to the upside, it's just a flush. It's a good level on that daily, I do think. If it gets to that 15-minute, I should say, daily chart, IPO. On that 15-minute chart, if it gets there, that's the only place I'm looking for a long. I suppose a 150 breakout back to the upside isn't terrible, but you're just not going to see me take it.
Hit the sirens. Another one. Here comes PayPal, man, right back to flat. Now we'll see if it can go. Again, we wanted that 208. We should have got more down here. We were actually waiting at 206.50, so we almost got that. It just ripped up to 208.50. We didn't get any out. Our average price, 208.27. So this comes right back to life for us on that. And I was going to say, people talking about the People's Trader. Look, I was going to right there take this out at VWAP, and I didn't do it there on target. We had $1.50 in the money. We're now 60 60 cents in the money on target. You can see the positions on the board. I mean, these are all the positions I have. So right now it's $1 now. $1 in the money on target. All these came through, man. And I don't know, maybe should I start hashtagging People's Trader? Like, look at some of these things on here, man. Lucid, we've already discussed these positions, 52 and 54 longs. We've smoked those, man. Rivian, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Target, watch out for this 252. It's right there. AMD, so strong. All we've been doing is buying this. Ford's a short at 20. The only name that I haven't looked at here on the sticky note today was Ford. So let's have a look. We said Ford was a short at 20. I mean, I'm going to get, so I have an offer just before we go here. I have an offer at 254.70. So I think we break through VWAP and we get out somewhere around there on that one. Rivian still $5. The money was 10. So we should have got out of that one at that very bottom of 144. That would have been a good call. And then we said fade. I mean, again, this is the first time I looked at Ford. So it doesn't look like we got up to 20 in the pre-market. Doesn't matter. Since open, I wouldn't have taken this. So this is going to be a no trade for me on Ford because there's no way I would have taken that 77 if my average was going to have to go up to 20. So Ford on the way back down. We did call the short, but we had the wrong price. We were looking to short 20s. That didn't happen. It's back down 1.2% now for Ford. There goes Target. Another buck in the money right now. And Rivian's just climbed back up. Like, we missed that. We still are short 154 or whatever it is.
I mean, it hasn't even broke 150.
No, it's okay. But I mean, I have a bid down here. Hopefully it can come back in and we'll take that. As there goes Target, man. Let's go. Ring the register on this one if you want to. How's $1.50 for you guys? Merry Christmas to all, because this is a good trade right there on Target.
Yeah, and I appreciate what you guys are saying about a GoEV, but I just want to talk about the nuts and bolts of it, because look, you could easily have held that 12 short and then given it all the way to 12.75, risk 75 points. At that particular point, your first out needs to be all the way at the low of the day. So doing that isn't actually a winning trade yet. On a higher time frame, if you really do believe it's going to flush, and you're looking for a gap fill, then that would make a little bit more sense. I'm more on the scalping side of this trade. Rivian was more of a hold. This was more of a scalp trade in my mind. And that's why take the smaller hit. It's only about 15 or 20 cents. Get back into it. This allows me to take profit at 12, take profit at 11.60, sort of bank 50 pennies, bank 80 cents, and then hold on to a portion of the position in case it takes out that low of the day. You now have a double or triple bottom, depending on how you want to look at it. That gives you an 11 break. That gives you an 11.14 break. You can also reload if it puts in a higher low at 12, which was my original entry price, or I can wait all the way back into this 12.75. More flexibility to go with this. Part of the reason, too, is it wasn't necessarily as weak as I was anticipating, likely because it already put in a monster flush off of that 13.50 level. So, GoEV, it doesn't work quite as well if I'm just stubborn about it and then averaging on the way up. To me, you either hold that 12 trade and you're still in it, not taking any profit potentially yet, or you get out and then wait for the better price. And if I like another price better on a short or a long, then I would rather cover and then let it fill that gap and then get back in. It's just one way to mitigate risk. The downside of that action, of course, is you're going to lose less when you're wrong, but if it pops up here and never gets to 12.50, then guess what? I've missed out on a short that I believed in, and that's just par for the course. It's part of the game. There's not much you can do about it. Cassava Sciences is continuing to flush. I'm still bidding in front of 46. I have already taken profit on this name. If it takes a fresh low, I mean, it's already down 22%, so I'm kind of thinking at this point it might be a little bit unlikely. If it does bounce back into VWAP here at 50s, you might see me tighten that up at 48. But it's really not giving me any cause for concern. And that MTTR is sort of the same thing here. There were longs that we liked. Prague was a mixed result. Same thing with Plug. But once these all started to come back into the south side, along with the market, it was difficult to want to be fighting the long on any of these names here, guys. So the shorts are just happening to work out. I think there are some bottoms that we can possibly pick.
I mean, look at AMD right now, guys. Like, so I've already hit daily goal. When we started this show, if you were watching like a year ago, I used to say daily goal hit. My daily goal is now 3 times higher than that, and we just hit it. So there it is. Daily goal just hit right now. Look at AMD, man. We are long on AMD, 150.60. A couple different buys down here as AMD explodes to the upside. Rinse and repeat. Rivian, $8 now in the money again as it's falling down to the downside. Target, $1.50 in the money. PayPal, 80 cents out of the money. What's up, Brendan?
Another little one that's been crazy over the past 2 days here. TRT on the NYSE American Exchange going again here, guys, up 10%. Trying to take out 960 here on big volume. This one popped up on Monday.
Yes, my daily goal is $1.5 million, as talked about in the chat. So yes, you are right. That is, but regardless of what it is, man, if you had 1 million shares down here on AMD, then welcome to $1.76 million profit. This is $1.76 now in the money, and Rip City on AMD. Like, you know what, guys? This has just been, I'm like $7 now in the money on this trade. Maybe we just get out at 145 right here. I don't know. I mean, we're waiting for, my bid is right now on Rivian 144.50. We'll see if we can crack through 146, and then we'll talk about it from there. But I'm debating on just putting a sell right now. I mean, this is what I mean. We're already 3 times our old goal. This is just the way that this is going. Rivian 147. Let's put a 147. We're gonna have no bids now. And we're just gonna put a 147 offer. And if that gets filled, we'll get out on that stop order. So 147 is gonna be the stop right now for Rivian. If that ticks, and we'll be out of this one. But this has just been a fantastic day. I hope you're having similar luck on this trade.
Absolutely. I'm just, you know, that thing that happens with the charts happening once again
No.
here, guys. Yeah, I know.
Stop.
It happens from time to time. What, charts failing a little bit
No,
here? So,
Neo.
yeah, I know. It's sometimes it can be a little bit frustrating. That TRT, by the way, just because I know Brendan, it's actually came up, and I did my best, of course, to fill in for Brendan, but Brendan's going to be Brendan. This actually came up yesterday a couple of times, and it wasn't doing a tremendous amount of volume, but still a very strong stock. It's getting to this $10 range where I think there could be worth a little bit of a fade because the volume's really tapering off here. So I am now putting this one on the radar, TRT. It is trading on the, I guess, formerly the AMEX, even though it's .AM and I call it the AMEX. NYSE American is what we're supposed to call it, so I suppose I should try to do that. $10 coming up very quickly. Brendo.
There's this ON Holdings as well. They announced early lockup expiration yesterday. That sent that thing flying yesterday, guys. So ON just taking out $50. ON just taking out $50 there on volume as well.
I mean, it's not often I'm left speechless, but yeah, this is just the day this has been. Target right at VWAP right now. I mean, $1.60 now in the money on TGT. Like, I mean, do we just get this out? I'm just going to wait for that high spot there. And then, you know, the call on this one, holding Rivian, like we could have got out, but we decided to hold this. And now, what a good move to the downside. As I said, this takes out 147. We're going to be out. So that ticks down there. We'll get out of that. But yeah, and then AMD, I mean, again, it was just touched out at 152.60 there. I was thinking that we did have a 153 peg, which we pretty much did. We got up to 152.90 there. 152, what is that high? 152.60. So yeah, you know, a break back down through 152, we'll get out, or so close enough to that, anyways. Maybe this level right in here, this pre-market bottom. 150. Okay, let's call that. I'm fine taking this profit. 151.80 right now. All we're really doing right now, guys, is just stacking up the cash because it feels like this is what's happening. Like we're just calling up stocks and then it just prints us. So we're going to get out if this takes this level out right here, 151.76. Otherwise, target 153. So let's give that a go. We'll put an offer up near 153. If we cash that out, we cash that out. But so far, so good today, guys, on everything.
Yeah, I mean, just at this point for me, it's like I'm finding the holds here. If you're deep in the money on something, you know, hang on to it. That TGT is likely going to be the net. Whoops. Oh my God, it's TRT. Because TGT target, right? So that's going to happen, guys. It just got to 989, so very close at $10 mark, and there is a bit of a bid here. It looks like about 20,000 shares it was on the bid on EdgeX. I can show you, it just got taken out there, so someone just bought a bunch. I doubt that the short cover this high because that would sort of be ridiculous. Why wouldn't you give it to $10? So someone actually pretty bullish on it still. I like that 10 for a rollover, but I wanted to get very, very close. The volume is good, but not exactly fantastic. So that's worth a watch. Tesla is getting close to that $1,100 mark. Load. There you go. At that 1,100 mark with a bit of a pullback here. I think that's the actionable level. Obviously, that 1080. You know, these things, it's going to happen. I got a little bit distracted there and didn't catch that 1080 break. It breaks, goes right up to 85, pulls back, holds 1081. So obviously holding 1080 if 1081 holds, and right back into the top. So I'm not going to chase it. You know, it is what it is. It's a good morning. I'm not going to ruin it by chasing a long that I wanted and didn't get. So Tesla on the move to that 1100. And then I'm still looking for a place to get into this long in Rivian. As it's been only a short, it's headed right back towards those lows. I like 140. If it makes one more break through the bottom here, 144, Now, I think that's where it could potentially stall out. If it turns here, that wasn't deep enough for me. I got to have a level that I like for the out, like we did with that short. So it is what it is. I might miss out on this one altogether. And Lucid, sort of a similar story, although much stronger. Lucid back up for a potential 58 break, right?
Wow.
So Lucid, which when we came in today, it was Rivian that was down 8 or 9%, and Lucid was basically flat. So, once again, it's back in positive territory. You have this 58 from the pre-market when it rolled over, still looking like a bit of a level. It might have to calm down before it can break that out. So Lucid back in positive territory. I'm not going long on that one yet either. Going to hang on to the shorts.
Okay, so good out there. We'll ring the register and Superman this again because there's Rivian out right there. So out at 147, man. We gave this a dip down to 145. We were waiting for lower, but it didn't happen. So we're out there and just an absolutely destruction. That was a, let me find out per share there, $6.37. So $6.37 per share on that last trade there. We've just been short the whole way down and just absolutely destroyed that name. Look at Target, man. This is another $2 winner. Feels like this is a carnival. I keep always saying that, but there it is, man. Nice trade on Target. Our target for Target is right here, 254.70. So we're getting very close to getting out right now. It almost did that not just? We're waiting at 254.70. What did that tick to? That ticked to 254.70, but we're not. We're on a different gateway. So that literally, and we talked about this again and again. Like I just said 254.70. We were sitting right there. That's where it went to. So hopefully we can at some point get filled there on that trade, and that would be nice if that does happen. Wow, I can't believe that. That sucks, man. That was for $2.50 win right there, and it touched us and went the other way. So I don't know what happened there. Hopefully that fills us up. That sucks, man. That always happens to me, but okay. AMD, just a quick one there. AMD on the market coming back down. We take that out, and once again, man, we'll spin it for AMD because that's been such a great trade for us right there. That is $1.25 on that out right there as I check the P&L. So, okay, here we go, Target. Oh, it just went. I thought it was going to go again. Maybe we just take this out at 254.50, man. I mean, what the hell do we even care? Let's go. Like, you're going to see right now. Watch. This is the honesty. Like, hands off. I'm sitting there at 254.70. Hopefully that can come up now, so you know, like, oh, I didn't just say 254.70. Like, that's the price that we're sitting at. Hopefully it can fill, but I mean, sitting here watching this is like watching paint dry. Let's go, man. Okay, 66, 67, 69, 70. There it is. So it prints 70. We get out. So there's another one, man. Wow, we on one. That's a $2.40 win right there. We'll review all of our trades, but wow, what a good day. As now it rips, of course, to 255. But super happy about that. Wow, the only problem we have right now, we got 99 problems. Trust me, trading ain't one. But right now, PayPal out 85 cents doesn't sit well with me. So we'll see what we can do about that. Anything you want to talk about before, Brendan?
Right before we go to Brendan, I'm still just, I'm going to be watching that solar, this SEV Sono with their Scion solar-powered vehicle, which production in 2023, if you're interested. The IPO is today. No indication on when it will open, but right now the issue price 15 and indicated open at $20. Time for the small cap recap. Let's go to Brendan at the big screen.
Hey guys, yeah, a number of small caps moving around in the pre-market this morning. Not an easy day overall in small cap world. Here's GoEV. If you were trying to play this one along with Rivian, along with Lucid, which I'll show you in a second here. This one's showing all kinds of relative strength right out of the gate this morning. It did give you a nice flush to the downside there. I had to get out of some there because I just had too much, but it ends up working out anyways down to 11. That's a dollar range on GoEV right at the open. We end up going all the way to 12.5, which is this consolidation, a little bit of a stop on the way up. So I'm back in this again. We'll see if we get back down to day lows as some of the other ones start to come off for GoEV. SPI, the other one we were talking about, had to try this twice, ends up taking out the highs, but immediately retakes 740 and has come all the way back through the range once again for SPI. So still have some of this one as well. Long way to go if it wants to get back into these levels from yesterday. 630, 620 possible for that one. And Lucid, not a small cap obviously, but Lucid I was focused on. Again, another one showing all kinds of strength if you want to compare it to Rivian. But you're not, in my opinion, you're not wrong on the short side here until 58 gets taken out. So I just took some more there in front of 58, guys. Back over to you.
Yeah, you guys like that. I got 99 problem comment there, so that's pretty funny. Shout out to Jay-Z, Limp Bizkit, those guys there. No, it's Linkin Park, sorry, not Limp Bizkit. Wow, there goes Rivian to the downside. I mean, we've absolutely destroyed, I gotta make sure I don't have any bids. We've absolutely destroyed Lucid as well today. I mean, this was a good trade for us. Boom, 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 all the way to the upside. So super, super pleased with Lucid trading right there. And I got out at 147 on Rivian. We were waiting for this 144.50, but there it goes, man. See ya, 144. Where do we get into Rivian? It's getting close. I think you can start to nibble at some point as Rivian down to 143. Absolutely disgusting there. Okay, so just a little bit of a target spot here for you. What is Target doing right now? Okay, good out for Target. That looks like that's a good one. Where's our AMD? That looks like that was a good out. So wow, Rivian's 142, man. So that's just tanking there. But look, so this is what I wanted to update. This is a 30-cent loser. We just got out for a 30-cent loser, 1/3 of our trade on PayPal. So 1/3 of the trade out for a 30-cent loser on PayPal. Right there, we were long at 208.27. We just took it out at 207.95 or whatever that was right there. So we just did take a tick out. And again, like these are all real trades, right? I mean, here's my tick, here's the out, here's the price. So I hate it when other channels, like people just like, oh, this and that, blah, blah, blah. And again, it's not about that. It's just like we're giving you our ins and our outs and then printing them for you right here as they happen. So there's another one, another good trade there on PayPal. Not a good trade, but we got out of that. Now we can try to take this higher. I still have a target right here, 208.50. If that comes through, I'm literally sitting there at 208.50. So if that comes in, then we'll get out. That'll be a 30-cent winner. So then we'll back and forth, and then we'll hold that last 1/3. As PayPal just really hasn't been, doing too well here. But we may have just, I'm not going to get out at 208.50. Let's get out right here, 209. If this can go up to 209, we'll take $1 on it, and then we'll see where we go from there. But I like PayPal here.
Yeah, and I talked about that 140 level on Rivian. I want to go to the 15 minutes so we can sort of look at why I like this 140. You had a break. You had a bit of a break, and this is on, I guess, on Monday through 142.5, and then you had a dip down to 138. It then held in the afternoon to a 138. Like 90 or so. So when you have a target range of 138 to 142, a lot of times when I'm picking the bottom, I'll try to get in right in the middle at 140. I sat back down and I'm like, I don't want to miss this one. So I took a starter position. Admittedly, it's not as much as I had for the short side of the trade. I am giving myself some room. So if it does break 140 and test 138, I can add on a retake of that 140. So I do have a little bit of Rivian. I do want to add. If it fails on a breakdown at 140, does not get through 138, I want to be adding again. But this is one of those situations where it's into the target range and I don't want to miss out on it. Obviously, as it's pushing further down, I mean, it's going to, like I'm not holding, I didn't hold the Rivian short. I did hold the Go EV short, which is now gotten to $11 and then made a bid. So if I think that Rivian can be bottoming out here and then we catch a bit, execute first, Neil, and then worry later. If I think we're catching a bit of a bid on Rivian and then Go EV is down towards that $11 and has already bounced once, I'm going to ring the register and take some profit on that one as well. Like I said, there's lots of ways you could have played Go EV, and if the plan had just been to hold 12 all the way to a 12.75 stop, then certainly you could be taking first leg out 1-to-1, right? Like that wasn't the way that I decided to play, but that also works. Like it's like there's many ways that you can play this. In this particular case, I decided to trim, get out of it, and then get back into the trade. Holding it would have worked even with the same stop. Obviously, if that's going to be going down, you're going to see Lucid falling as well. If you check back in on Tesla, by the way, Tesla still approaching those highs. Hasn't gotten to 1,100 yet, but up 3% when the NASDAQ is flat and the ES is slightly down. Pretty good day for Tesla, even as we see Rivian not falling apart, because 95 was the low on the opening day, I do believe, right? So,
Rivian, yeah, exactly. It was 95, 100%.
It's still up, 40
You weren't here that day.
No, I traded the open. I had to pick my daughter from school.
Right,
so
that's right.
I traded it when it opened up.
Right.
And like the second I was out of my Rivian, because I only waited for that, I was like, I'm gone. Got to catch. Got to get home to pick up the daughter.
That was a great IPO, man. 106.75.
It was a good one. Should have held it though.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It was okay. We did make a lot of money we made a decent amount of money, not a lot, on that Rivian day, but I think that might have been my best day of the month on that day. So that did tick down to 95. So we're going to watch out for that. PayPal, again, target, I have a 208.75 offer right now to see if we can take 70 cents. We took a 30-cent hit already, and now it's right back in the money, 21 cents. So right now, been a roller coaster ride on PayPal today. So we'll see if that can continue to go. It's the only position I have on right now. I mean, I'm a little I don't want to say I'm exhausted, but I mean, I'm traded out a little bit here. We already have 100, exactly, dead on 100 fills today. So,
Not me. Oh, shoot, did I get it? SEV just opened. I didn't expect this to open up just yet because usually we don't get opens that are timely. I was just looking at Alibaba absolutely cratering and saying to myself, oh my goodness, what absolute nonsense there, guys. But SEV opens up at 20. There's a big, it's still on Alibaba here, guys. So it opens up at 20 bucks. Looks like it's holding a bid here at 20 even. If it can manage to hold that, it's just like, okay, I'll put a stopper in at 19 and then see what happens, guys. So if it holds 20 even, I'm long at 06. That's great. I want it breaking 21 before I take any profit. Give me like, yeah, give me some out of there. We go. We just got, I don't know, I guess a ringing register on that one. Again, I'm not saying these guys are going to produce a solar powered,
Yes,
I guess, electric vehicle. I mean, they're saying they're going to do it. But in this market environment, I mean, if this IPO is not going to go, then which one's not going to go? So 2206, we got to the long side. I thought it was about to halt just now. Obviously, it has not. Yeah, there we go. First halt. Can I get more shares on the first halt? Can I do it? Can I do it? Gimme, always gets. I don't know my manners yet, and apparently I cannot add to my position on this halt. 2284. That's going into a halt state there, and I'm going to hold through the halt because I have already taken some profit. You got some shares? Yeah, good one there. This one, who knows where it's going to go, but low-hanging fruit that, in this heated market, that a solar-powered EV, although they do actually have deliveries. Oh, sorry, like 1,600 or 16,000 in terms of orders. So there's something there. Brendan?
It's funny how the small IPOs always open so early. That's great for that one. NanoX Imaging, a name that we've talked about in the past many times, down big time here. Almost 10% to the downside for NNOX. On earnings, guys. So they reported as well. It was actually higher here in the pre-market, has done nothing but fall all over itself. So big time volume trying to bounce right now for NNOX.
Yeah, I had to reconnect it.
All right. Yeah, so I'm in this, man. I'm in this halt right now. SEV, of course, Sono Group. We've talked about that a little bit. Neil had that early. We're in this now. A little bit nervous here as I have a decent position as we did get filled on that bid. So right now it's tapping 23. I just don't want to give my whole day back here, man. I'm tapping 23.50. Hopefully this can open up. Now it's tapping 23. Yuck. Hopefully this will be okay for us and we don't have to get absolutely smoked on it, but it is the first halt. We shouldn't get smoked because I don't know if this is going to come back to $20 there. But we're doing the same thing as we always do, man. We talk about this over and over again on the show, and that is that I take out, and I think Neil does the same thing, take out about half on the open if you have this price, right? So like if I was long, I don't know how many shares you have, but if I was long Neil down below, maybe you don't have to take out half because, you've already sort of taken some.
That's my approach. Yeah,
exactly. So, but right now we have this. We're going to take out half on the reopen and then see what the other half does to the upside. I actually have an offer right now at 28. So we'll see. If that can go up to 28, that'll be good. We'll take some of that out up there if it does go up. But half out on the open, see if we can make a little bit of scratch on that one. As right now it's tapping 23.50. It's just a volatility halt. This should open up. Volatility is 10 or 5?
Well, it can be either or, but it's usually 5. It can be 10. By the way, while this was happening, Rivian, it's trying to catch a bid, but there was just an iceberg at 143 there. I'm actually sitting, that previous low, that 144 bottom where it bounced, I'm actually going to take some out there because I want the opportunity that if it tests lower, I can still get more shares in front of 138. But I see that 143, it's going to have to clear through whatever that reserve was. And it was legit. Like I actually saw, some large prints going off there as it tried to hold 143. Once that breaks, I want to get some out on the momentum to the upside there. Brendan, I believe.
I'm not seeing anything new on this yet, guys, but this dogs, we've talked about it over the past couple of weeks. Back to the upside again today. Just broke 4 on volume, so 19.5% after. My chart's not sliding over, but big move down yesterday for DOGZ.
Know this, Brendan, but Neil had a hell of a time with your PC there yesterday, and we've already got the upgrade. Oh,
goodness, man.
The upgrade team is right now on it.
How did he...
I mean, look,
honestly, Brendan, you're my hero, man. I don't know how... I don't even know
Perfect opportunity for this.
Yeah. Wow, man.
We just need to get Brendan a new seat, apparently. The seat is the
problem. The chair is also pretty bad. It is. Like, my back was actually not doing too well yesterday.
Wow, we're really
Legit.
taking care of Brendan around here, aren't we? So there you go, Brendan. Hopefully that's coming. And I know Prad today, so join us for Memes and Movers, which is kicking off in 28 minutes. Now we'll be throwing it over to Miss V and Trader Prad. Why don't we give a shout out? Are you guys sitting over there? Shout out to Prad if he's there. Shout out to Miss V. Let's put Miss V on the camera. I think she's okay. They've got a nice smiling face. There she is. Yeah, you'll be seeing a hell of a lot more of her. I'm hoping we can find more role for her on this show, but she has a major role on the
Telling
Memes
us
and
how
Movers.
she did in Tesla longs today.
And
That's
then
what I
she
want
just
to know,
like
man.
kills us on the Tesla longs all the time. So we'll see if that's going to come through. We've been absolutely destroying Rivian. I know you have the long SCV hopefully opening up in a minute. Brendan, what up?
Another EV related name, Arrival, guys. Down 16%. There was an offering on this one this morning in the pre-market. So this one as well really hasn't participated in the same way as the others, but big move down today, trying to hold desperately above 11 here for ARVL. Speaking of Miss V, let's get a check of how things are shipped.
Hey Brandon, European markets are mixed. Earnings remain in focus. Used car dealer Auto One trading in Germany is up around 4% after posting record third quarter earnings and lifting its guidance for the second time this year. Back to you.
Yeah, it's been a chop fest, I guess, for the overall market. We are negative right now, but 0.2 for the S&P, guys.
So anybody that was asking, if you're saying, how did I get that fill, Brittany, I'm assuming you mean SEV. That was just, it was a market on open, right? Like that's, I was interested in this stock since, early in the week we were talking about this one, just because of how these EV names have been going. So 25 is an obvious out point for me because even dollars make some sense. And again, if I had had that long here, that's a great, gorgeous trade on the Halt style play. But I want to get some out in front of 25 even if I can, and then look for a 25 break and start playing breakouts because it almost feels like, at some point when these things turn around, take your profit because who knows? Sometimes they halt 2 or 3 times. It could go to $30 or $40, but it could also just retrace and be back to $20 in a heartbeat. So I want to play breakouts if I can from there. Oh, I just missed a 25 break.
Yeah, I'm still long.
It doesn't even hold that 25 break.
No, I'm still long. Get some out here. There we go. Get some out at 25 right now and see where we go from here. But so far, so
that's
good.
an okay break.
Yeah, so far, so good on this trade. We are long SEV right now, $3 in the money. I don't know, where did that even open up on the halt there? 23. I'm not sure because I actually canceled my order, Neil. And then I had to get out manually. So there it goes, man. Nice little trade.
23.40.
I got an offer at 28, but I'm going to cancel. It's going to halt again here. So do we want the long again on this?
I'm not taking it the second time.
All
To
right.
me, like, I'm scalping it from this point. I scalped 25 to 25 and a half. Should have been 26.
Wow.
It's now halting 26. And again, this just comes down to IPOs. A lot of times it is about hype, right? And maybe this didn't get enough press. I don't understand like how it could have been. And and we talked about this with some of the smaller IPOs sometimes being a little bit better. This was not very big. I think it was only 150 million or something like that, like a very, very small number ultimately. And at the end of the day, I think it's going to probably turn around at some point, but you got to ride the wave while it's there. Speaking of waves to ride, as you can probably imagine, Cassava Sciences is still down, now 25%, but I'm now done with this one. You can't trade Sava every single day, but an SEC investigation, and it's going to pop right into resistance that it put on the news. Like on the newsprint, it found support at 52, came back up to 55, then flushed. So if it's going to make a lower high, I'm going to take it. And this time we do it the way we're supposed to do, at least the way that I say I should, is allow it to test up to that level, see it fail lower high 54, get in on the way down. So that's what we did. In on the way down when the momentum is with you. I was able to also add when it broke that buyer at 52. Got some out in that front level here in front of 50 and then 48, and then now lower the day there in Cassava Sciences. So a lot of times I'll have a plan of action for Sava and like half follow it or like a quarter follow it. This time it was pretty much exactly the plan. So I'm actually happier about that than a lot of the other trades there because I've bungled Sava shorts before. Rivian, like I said, I want to take some out in front of 144, which I did, just in case it breaches 140. Tests that 138 and can be a long back through 140. So that's the plan of action. I'll probably continue to trade that SEV on reopen for momentum, but I don't think I'll be shorting that one today unless it halts like maybe 3 or 4 times to the upside. I guess this is already 2, so I should pay for the shorts and see what they are.
Yeah, we just got, we still have 20%. We're going to take it out on the open now for this trade. I mean, we're logged 22.84. Like, I don't know, man. Let's just barbecue up some profits, man. Those chicken wings were damn good last night, and we'll see. And then I guess now today, as we go Christmas tree shopping in the red and black lumberjack with the hat to match.
I have a question about that though. So like, if you put the tree up this early, do you already have eggnog like stocked in the fridge? Like, because you gotta.
I mean, that's a valid point.
You can't put up a tree without eggnog. That's ridiculous. far as I'm concerned.
Okay, well, I'm getting eggnog on the way home. Thank you for bringing that up. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Appleton's rum.
I definitely know I have some rum, so there's no doubt about that. I don't know. I hope I'm assuming the eggnog. Look, you can't put up a tree without Christmas music in the background. You got to throw on the record there. So we'll do that, and then I like the eggnog call. That's a great one. We'll get the kids into some hot chocolate now, and they absolutely love that. And Sean needs a hype man. Yeah, that's what I need. Okay, so we'll just watch out for that. Hype man, please apply below, and we'll take that. But SEV, I guess we can buy the biggest tree on the lot right now, as our day is just accelerating here, and we'll wait to see where it opens up. It looks like right now it closes at 26.26. Right now the tap, which is a theoretical auction price, is 26.88.89, and just moving around. So I think this probably opens up near 27. We'll get another piece out there for $4 winner, and then after that we'll hold our last 10% of this trade. I mean, I miss the IPO, honestly, and wish we didn't, but doesn't matter. We'll see if this can ring the Reggie on the upside of this. Unfortunately, though, right now, as the market's not doing much, you could see what PayPal's doing. I have no idea what that's about. It just cracked lower, so this is a problem for me, but I mean, it's minuscule, but we do have to have our outs. Where is our out on PayPal here? I don't even know if I have a stop order, so let's look at that. We're going to take one more bid down here somewhere. I'm still bidding 206.50, so that's getting close to filling. If that fills, we'll take one more spot on PayPal and then get out on a 205 break, I think is what we were looking at here. But you know what? Let's get out at 206. If we get this 206.50 break, we're going to get this, and then we'll get out at 206 flat. Not going to hold this one all the way down. We've taken multiple dollars on so many names today. I don't need to give anything back on a name that's been downgraded and weak, and that I'm like just more upset about the downgrade than anything else. So let's wait to see. There it is. One more fill. Oops, that's a 20-minute chart. Sorry about that, guys. Here's a 1 minute. There's the last fill on PayPal. So good thing we got that piece out. We should have got more, and then we got greedy when it came back to flat. But right now, PayPal's suffering for the downside.
Yeah, and just going to go back over, and thank you very much, Dominic. Qualcomm. We'll get to Qualcomm in a quick second. I just want to review the long on Rivian because it is starting to come back up. It just broke 145. Now I'm targeting in front of 150. You could argue, and it's a solid one on the 15-minute chart, that I should be holding out to like 151, 152. I would rather get out in front of a reversal and an even dollar level like 150. It goes 140 to 150. I feel like that's low-hanging fruit, so I'm probably going to cover 148.5, somewhere in that range for myself. QCOM. Oh, that's right, because I wasn't sitting in the seat yesterday. That means on this layout, I didn't actually watch Qualcomm. So Qualcomm, another strong move to the upside. And what do you say? Like, what do you even say about this, right? Like, it's pretty insane. I didn't actually think the stock had it in it. And when you get this break, it's now almost exactly 10% from that double top breakout. No, it is exactly 10%. Pretty much from that double top breakout here. So if it runs into some like random resistance at 185, I don't think that's necessarily crazy. I think all systems are a go here.
Oh my God!
When they had that Investors Day, and
Where
the momentum was definitely with it. Where did it open?
I don't know.
I missed the open.
I missed the open. 27.20 there.
It's still good.
Wow, this is $6 now in the money.
Solar.
Man. EV getting unplugged right now. And then look at that, man. I mean, look at this bid here on, that's Rivian. Sorry, my bad. Look at PayPal, man. We just take that 206.50. You saw me take that live, so there it is, out at 207 and change. We're now back into the money, as this was a double position there. So you saw, I mean, look at the average price now. So what was a problem is no longer, as SEV as well just keeps on rocking. I'm going to put my stop order at 20 right here, man. 20, this bottom, 26 break. Holy, what is going on today? We ring the Reggie one more time on this, and yeah, just big time trades. Couldn't be more pleased with today's trading. There it is, man, $31, man, an $8 winner. We already had an $8 winner today on Rivian, and here's another one. How about 9? It's going to
up again.
One more time.
There's a reason we opened the show with this stock, guys.
Let's go. Wow, what a day, what a day. I hope you're enjoying it, man. 40 minutes, 10:40 right now, 20 minutes until we throw it over to Memes and Movers. And there's, again, another halt, man. I'd say this is going pretty damn good.
Is that Brennan?
ARQQ, a quantum computing name just popping up here as well. I mean, there's so much to look at today. 12%, guys, big volume taking out these levels here, 26.5 up to 27 here for ARQQ.
Oh yeah, ARK going to make a bit of a move there. And someone, Vanilla Ice, saying I left some on the table with the open.
Yeah.
And look, every single time on a parabolic mover like that I think is more about momentum than valuation, I'm always going to take it out too early. And I hope that never happens, because if I can get back in, I'll play those to the upside. But I did miss a couple of entries into those longs after it opened back up there again. So it's just the way I play it. At the end of the day, you can hold on for the home run. I tend to think if something has gone just crazy on momentum, I'd rather be out early and banking profit than holding the bag. So I saw what happened. Like, it's just, what you don't want to happen is that utter nonsense that you saw like a few, was it weeks or months? I don't remember when it was, when that DWAC thing was happening. And then you suddenly have a down halt, or you get a halt up, and they hold it for like an hour, hour and a half, and then you can't take profit because it just gaps all the way back down. I don't want that to happen to myself or anybody, so I like taking profit, and it might be too early. Rivian is getting close to consolidating 147, so if it makes a breakout at that 147, I'm sitting right between that and 150 here. So the bottom pick, it didn't quite get exactly to where I would have added to it, but so far so good for catching the bottom here in Rivian. Still down 15%, by the way, as I do believe. Are we ready to go to sector watch? It's like we're ignoring the overall market, which is trying to get back to positive territory. NASDAQ. Let's go, Brennan.
Yeah, not much to see really, guys, on the overall market. We are red now substantially, well, not substantially, 0.1 to the downside. There are a few names kind of offsetting the rest of the market and holding things up in positive territory. If you want to look at the Dow, there's MasterCard and Visa. Those two combined making up most of the move to the downside for the Dow. PayPal right below that 3.5%, FIS 3.2%. So some of the payment names getting hit today on the sell side. That's Tesla, that's GM, 3% plus for both, helping to offset. TJ Maxx we talked about in the pre-market, up on earnings. Target the other direction on earnings. There's eBay and low as well. Visa, MasterCard, PayPal we talked about. ENPH having a good day, 2.9%. Everything else you can see pretty negative. There are some positive names in the healthcare group, but overall not big enough to really help in any meaningful way. Industrials, red, communication services, consumer staples, and that's a real estate group. There was a couple of earnings reports out of that group kind of pressuring the whole thing. Very negative on the day, 3+%. But overall, the market 0.14 only for the S&P. Back over to you.
Thank you very much, Brendan. And look, trying to get back to the upside, like I said, is that NASDAQ. So hopefully it can, the S&P there, hopefully can follow that NASDAQ. Got that the wrong way around. I'm very close to putting a trail in here on Rivian. It's that 145 level. If it breaks 147, I'm going to stick with the plan of getting out for the 148.5. I am, by the way, just to recap, I'm still in this MTTR position, and I'll zoom out so you can see a little bit better. It bounced off of 28 here. And like I said, I actually want to give this one a lot of room. I'm giving it at least back in a view up. I was giving it 29.50 since it's now crashed through and giving you a 28 print. I'll probably tighten that one up and give it to 29.5. It's just, there's so much room for this to fall. Like this turns into a double top. If 28 gets taken out, there's no good reason why we couldn't be back at like $27. So, if this can end up giving me like almost a 10% move, I'll be pretty happy to see it. If it wasn't a double top, I probably wouldn't be holding on to the last of these shares, but that's what we're sitting in right now. We just took out 147 and then came right back in on Rivian, so it looks like it might be time to put a bit of a trail. That's the second time it's failed at 147, so I might want to make sure I lock in at least $4 on this trade. It's just a trailing stop, so if it doesn't fill, I still have a chance to get the $7 win around the long. Brendo?
Sean, you were talking about this Roblox early on this morning, 5.3% now. That was all-time highs. So we just broke 123. It got rejected hard, but all-time highs again for Roblox.
I think we could probably take some profit on some of that Roblox position after the show again there. We did just get PayPal out a little bit. It's 50 cents in the money. So we took another piece out right there. We're still holding a decent spot, obviously, on this one, more than 50% of this trade. And that was a great bottom pick there, like 206.50. Our out's going to be 206. So that order is already locked and loaded. And we say that all the time, like, don't take a trade unless you're willing to take a hit and well, not just that, but have your out always listed down there. So I can't say that enough. To me, that's the most important thing about trading. Like, here goes SCV. So it looks like it's going to try to break downside now. Break through 28, we're gone. But SCV right now, wow, $10 winner right here on that. This is a carnival when these IPOs get open. So be very, very careful. 28 break, we're out. Other than that, we're letting this thing go. Here's $10 now in the money off that first halt there for SCV. So things going quite well on this one. Let's let's just see where it goes, man. If this comes back in, we'll get out again. Let's take a 29 break. 29 break, we're out of this one, but right now it's at 32 and cruising to the high side right now. SEV, good trade.
Yeah, my last long is out of the building there. That's going to be Rivian, so I don't know, we can do one of these, I suppose. We just took it out there in front of that 148. I'm looking for a downside print here on that SEV. I actually, you know what, whatever, I just missed it.
We just got out, yeah.
Yeah, I was just looking for an opportunity. I'm not going to, you know, I might take it small for the down halt if I can actually get shares, but
I
don't love it nearly as much as if I could have caught it back through 30 even, and I know my stop is at 31.
Did you take it?
Did I get it? You know what?
I'm not going to take it.
Yeah, I didn't actually get
I don't even have shares. I got to do it right now.
I did pay for the short, so
How much was it when you
I was
paid?
prepared to do it. I don't think it was that expensive, but I had to double check. It was like 7 cents a share, so actually pretty reasonable given how volatile it's been. But it's a better short, I think, if I got it through 30 and had a stop at 31 than just doing the halt down because it's got so much momentum. Who knows? Like maybe it'll open up at 22 and I should have taken this trade.
Yeah, who knows? So let's do this live because we don't do this enough. This is Day Trade the World. This is who we're trading with. So I'm going to put in here. I'm going to put in symbol. What is it? SEV.NQ. So SEV.NQ here. We'll just see how much it costs for 100 shares just to show you guys. Hit submit here, and then it's going to show up if there is any how much it's going to cost. Should be right here. So $13. So 14 cents a share right there. So that's not horrible. So we'll probably take that. I don't know how many shares we'll take for it, but we'll see. You know what? We'll take a small bit, and then we'll just see how this opens up. Because again, like if this doesn't open up good, then maybe we don't even want the shorts there. So for SEV, so there's the out at 29. We let it ride all the way up. Good out. We are now cleaned out of SEV. We should have taken more out on PayPal there at that 207.20. Now it's coming back in. Remember where our out is, guys. Please. This is not a bad hit for us at all anymore now that we averaged in and took that out. So we'll see if it can go higher there. That's going to be PayPal. Check out Clover, says Meister. What's up, Meister? We'll check out Clover right now for you as well. Yeah, so just because, and we talked about this with PaySafe, and I have to look back at PaySafe, just because it's at the same levels that we were at yesterday doesn't mean, like yesterday, this is where we bought it, right? 668, and we took it out. Beautiful trade on the upside. Then we wound up taking it out here somewhere, 7. There it is right there, 695 at the end of the day off of a 668 long. So that was a beautiful trade there for us. And then now today, you see the difference? Right now you're barcoding, which is fine. Actually, that's good that this is happening. So again, dipped in. The reason why I like yesterday's is because it happened right off the open. Basically just murked itself all the way to the downside. Then we found a bottom and went back up. Have we actually found a bottom here? It looks like it. So I like this call. I think this is a good call in Clover, but I'd rather take the momentum up right now than try to say, hey, it is going to hold. So we'll see if it breaks through 75 on the upside, but Clover continues to get wrecked, as does, I believe, PaySafe. I'm still not even loaded back. I haven't, see 430. So this hasn't gone yet. I think PaySafe needs to go. If it breaks 5, we may put some shares on again on our own account. Roblox, wow. And again, we talked about people shorting this off the open, and I said I didn't like that trade for you guys, shorting this name off the open. Now is a different story, man. We've already made this high at 123. It got elevated one more time again, kind of going parabolic, up 5% on no news. So that's big enough reason to short right there. Short off 123 looks pretty good. Anybody short Roblox right now, I think I like that trade. And if you're not short, maybe even a 121.50 break to the downside on Roblox could be spicy as well. So watch out for that name, but up 5%. It's not a name that I want to short until it gets to some key levels. And right now, man, 125 is pretty key. So we'll see if it gets up there.
So, I can say this instead of the chat there, but SEV, I understand not everyone can trade IPOs the first day. Always check with your broker. I get it. We can trade it here at Day Trade the World. We are paying for shorts to be able to go the other direction. I'm looking, if I were to get back into the long, I'd probably be looking down towards that first initial halt price. There's no levels to look at other than halt prices, right? And even dollars. So $20 is sort of obvious because that's where it opened. If it broke 2015, because that was the issue price, and then I just look at that halt price, $22.80, so about $23. Like that would be a target area if it continues to flush down. I did not get the short on the halt down. I was trying to short it at the 30 level instead of just taking that halt, which it looks like it's going to open at $27. So if it opens there, it's about a 45-cent winner. I didn't go over, and apologies. Well, you know what? A lot was happening and distracted us here, but I did get that fill on GoEV at the low of the day in front of 11. So I'm all done with that trade. If it does retest 1275, that could be a bit of a reload, but I'm not going to chase this one. I'm not going to force it. Just going to wait around for the price that I like or do absolutely nothing with it at all. It's just MTTR that we're going to be sitting in here. And again, I like it if it breaks 28 even. I think it can go to 27 there. But for now, I'm going to sit in this trade. It was a double top. If you go back to yesterday at 30 even, it was a double top today at 30. I thought that was worth getting into, especially with some of the air coming out of these other names here, and no air coming out of Tesla.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. Like I've been trading a little bit less Tesla recently, but and again, you're going to get distracted by some of these other. I mean, if I'm trading GoEV and Rivian, I don't know if I need to be trading Tesla at the same time. But when that one fell, it just always felt like the money, in addition to Elon selling, which we all knew, some of that money going or not going into Tesla to buy those bottoms at times felt like it was waiting for a pullback. And the money comes out of Rivian, you're banking it, and you want to stick in the space, and you're getting Tesla at still like a 15% discount from the highs. Well, I guess more like 12% at this point. It was 15 earlier. Yeah, I mean, why not? So Tesla continuing its run up. So I hope there's a big winner in it for Miss V. I have 0 executions on Tesla on EV day. So I don't know what to say about that.
Is this EV?
It's EV week.
Oh, okay.
EV month.
Did you just coin that today? Is that like
ever since Rivian opened up? It's
I
been.
I know. We called it you called it Rivian week last week or whatever it was, right there. But stay hydrated right now. Are you calling me Rob or something? No, okay, good. All right,
I heard something.
I thought I heard something too, but that's okay. If it didn't, it didn't. All right, 207.75. The only trade I have on right now is PayPal. We're waiting for 207.75 to come through, which would be basically just, you can't really see it because it's down so much, but there's some levels there. So we'll wait for 207.75. Hopefully we can hit that. I did want to talk quickly about some coins here. And you hear me go, why? Because there's Bitcoin, man, 59.8. So it does make a move back to the downside right now. Looks like it obviously failed at some high levels. We can check out a chart, but we're not trading the physical here today, so it doesn't really matter for that. Ethereum 41 not holding as well. Cardano, I haven't bought any back, but I did sell some yesterday at 195. We talked about that. Other than that, just looking here, this is the last 1 hour. So you look at the last 24 hours is this main column right there. Solana is another name that I like, probably picking some up at some point. I don't know if the dip is done yet, though. I did talk about it here. Looking at Bitcoin possibly touching 55,000. So when that happens, then some of these other coins will obviously be falling with them. So we'll look at that for a ad, but not yet. Thank you so much, William. I mean, look at this. Let's just go fire the money out right now for that. Thank you so much, William. A smooth 95. Maybe that's your lucky number there, but it is. It's been a lucky number for me too, 95. So thank you for your call on SUV, SUV.
What is that?
SEV. Realized my biggest winner ever at 18. I didn't even see this. $18,000 there. Was 30 seconds away from 40K. So forget about my money. Money. William, thank you so much, man. I mean, that means a lot to me. I put out a few trades on that as well, and I didn't make $18,000, but you did, and that's all that matters. And that's why we're not all about the P&L here, guys, because what does it mean? Like, Neil's a better trader than me if he's up 20 and I'm up 10? It doesn't matter. Take the trades, and there you go, William. Thank you for your confidence in both Neil and myself and Brendan and our whole team that you're willing to do something like that, put that much on the line.
I'm curious what the 95 is about.
I think it's just a lucky number.
Oh, it is.
That would be my guess, but
it's not a hockey player or anything.
Could be I mean, that's what I'm saying. Could be his hockey number. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
but,
I love it. Congrats, William. That's what it's all about here. It's about the process, right? Like, I'll look at it this way, man. Like,
perfect.
If you don't hate on yourself for if you didn't get that, like, hold it for 40. It's just. Sometimes like the next one, like if you try to hold it for an even bigger winner, like maybe it comes back on you, right? So you just got to follow your own process, and as long as it makes you money, just keep on doing it.
I don't think he's going to be a new trader, but
no,
we've always, all of us have seen our money, you're up a lot and then all of a sudden you're down. And that can happen very, very fast. So if one thing there that I'm proud of to hear that, see that message, obviously is that you did take the profit. So that's what it's all about. The only advice would be maybe hold 10%. I don't know, something.
You know what it is?
That'd be what it is.
William, you sent 5 earlier, so it's around $100. Just gotta keep it to round numbers. I love it, man. I got a little OCD in me a little bit.
Yeah,
for that.
that's good. Yeah, we'll take that. I mean, you could round it up even more if you want. I'm just playing around, William. That'd be great. So great trade there. I do have some. So we just got our lunch menu here. Look, it's gonna sound good, but the jerk pork really hasn't been great when we
Usually
get it.
overcooked.
Yeah, exactly. It's always a little bit too dry. Jerk pork with grilled sweet potato, buttered peas, and roasted pineapple relish, it looks like.
Well,
so the pineapple relish might be good. You're okay with that, as long as it's not on a pizza. Yes, we can't wait for too much longer because Mr. Wickens, I believe, has the earnings board.
Yeah, a few minutes ago here, guys, still some big names to report this quarter. We were talking about a couple of the Chinese-related names this morning, Baidu and Bilibili reported there's more to come tonight and tomorrow morning.
Ooh la la. I mean, I'm going to be watching. One of my best trades of the month actually was Macy's when it went parabolic and we shorted it. Now it's above $30. So that's even more parabolic. That's going to be interesting, man. How Macy's can survive in this environment, but if someone like a Target can't, that's going to, or Walmart, both down off earnings. So we'll have to see what that does. I mean, that's what I'm going to be excited for, the retail sector. And then Old Tech in the top left could do something. That's Bath & Body Works, not Bed Bath & Beyond. So there's that. And then the speaker maker, Sonos.
Yeah, Sonos should be an interesting one as well, I do think. And of course, look, man, you're going to see Alibaba on there. They're already down 3%. So once again, back to flat on that trade. I almost don't care what happens on earnings. That's more, I think those Chinese plays, they're shop plays, as far as I'm concerned. I know they both had good singles days, good numbers, but JD was and has been a better momentum stock than Alibaba, so that should be on everyone's radar to trade. Maybe even more so than Alibaba, because JD's just been a little bit relatively stronger there. There is one thing that we do, and it's going to be, and I'm always curious, always to see how Miss V is doing over there. But we got to find out what National Day is. Although I'm channeling the inner jerk pork day because obviously I have West
Maybe it's
Indian
going to be
roots,
like
so
beef patty day, maybe.
I'm kind of harsh when it comes to judging when you do like the jerk around here, but it's pretty tame. Like it's not very spicy at all. It's tasty. It's just not very spicy to my liking.
I'm just worried about the cook on it, not the spice. But
and no, Luca, I'm not still long. Rivian at 142. I covered.
Yeah, you can see our position at the bottom. Yeah. What's up, Miss V?
Hey guys, I hope you're all having a great day so far. Thank you very much for all of your super chats and generosity. We appreciate that a lot. Thank you for likes and welcome all the new members and new subscribers. And guys, we're super close to get 2,000 likes. So we would really appreciate if you double check if you like this video. Me and Prad are super excited for you to join Memes and Movers right after to continue trading. And happy National Butter Day, everyone.
What? They maybe changed this because I don't remember ever a National Butter Day. Do you remember that?
Never. We've not. I don't think we've done that one. If we did that last year this day, then I'm surprised because I don't think I remember that.
I mean, butter obviously good for baking, good on some toast, good on a bagel. So yeah, butter. Interesting. I don't know if we could survive without it. It makes it for culinary dreams come true. So I like butter there. I don't know if it should be the National Butter Day, but okay, shout out to all the dairy farmers as well.
Yeah, there you go. Shout out to all the dairy farmers. And with that, by the way, Marlon just put in the chat there, he's like, if you like spicy food, Neil, try Ethiopian next time you're in Montreal. I have, Ethiopian food is fantastic. I have had it once and it was delicious. But if next time I'm in Montreal, we'll look you up and you'll take me to the best place. I assume. There's lots of good places in Montreal, some of which I'm not going to name.
Marlon, we'll come through and go
Lucas
there.
knows.
There's a great African place where I live. I can't remember the name of it right now. Hopefully I'll get that for you tomorrow, and I've never eaten there. So, hey, look, man.
Is it on
That's
board?
the one thing about, no, it's on Dundas. But so we'll wait to see here all of that. I think, damn it, now it's bugging me what the name of that is. But yeah, look, that's the one thing about Toronto, and I know you mentioned Montreal there, but Toronto, very, very diverse. So you can get like every kind of food here and authentic as well. That's the great part about it. So, we love Montreal. What's up, Katie there? Katie Saunders. Shout out to you if you're Canadian. What's up with that? And then we'll hit the O Canada because that's what we're talking about right now. NVIDIA coming up. We can check out AMD as well. Wow, 150. I always get out of this way too early, man. We hit that for a nice call. We talked about it breaking 153, and there it goes, man. AMD, wowzers. Big time trading happening all over the place. But Neil, we're out of time.
Yes, sir. We're out of time, but you guys aren't because you get to go go right over to Trader Prad, Miss V. Should be an awesome, awesome afternoon. We'll come right back at 2 o'clock. So enjoy. Go get them, guys.
Welcome back to Memes and Movers. Almost forgot to pull my mic in front of my mouth. I am Trader Pratt. This is the beautiful Miss.
Hey guys, thank you for joining us today. As usual, please be active on the chat, ask us anything, and please don't forget to like this video. We really need your support. By the way, you're matching with Sean today, your shirt.
Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even notice. Yeah, we're both wearing flannels. Or I guess they're called flannels. Yeah.